What is going on, everybody? How you doing out there on a Sunday, July 9th, 2023? It's your Uncle Steve here. It's Sunday. It's the Sunday Chill in Uncle Steve's Lounge. We appreciate you all joining us today on this very slow sports Sunday. And in July, you pretty much, this is going to be the deal, folks. It's not going to be a lot going on. So obviously, your uncle and friends are going to try to fill in the spots, try to get you guys talking a little bit and have a little fun while we're doing it. Don't forget, your Uncle Steve is here on YouTube. Please make sure you like the video. Please make sure you tell your friends and also subscribe to the channel. Folks, we can't do much unless you subscribe and get other people involved in this. We want to get this thing jumping into the 2023 season when you can get some fun, active Falcons content here on the channel with your Uncle Steve. I appreciate everyone joining us again. Happy Sunday to you. It is warm out there, man. I just came from church and I couldn't wait to jump out and get out of my clothes because it was just so hot out there. And now I'm back in the house, kind of chill, came into the man cave, and I said I was going to chill a little bit, get a couple of friends in here to talk about some things Falcons. I'm going to set the stage for you real quick before we bring some people up in here. We have a couple of things that we want to talk about today, but three things basically on tap. You see them scrolling across the bottom, but we'll also talk about them up here at top. The first thing I was talking about, I heard a lot of people talking last week about players having that dog in them. And I always got the term. Don't get me wrong. I get what they mean. Kind of a little bit of an alpha male-ish type thing. But what Falcon players or current Falcon players, you say, did on this team that you say have that dog mentality, that right up to the brink, you know, take it right up to before they get a penalty and then cut it off right there. Those type guys, those run through the wall type dudes. Who are those alpha males on the 2023 Falcons team? I have a couple of candidates, but we'll save that for later on. But I want to know what you think. I want to hear what folks are thinking in the chat and obviously what our panel will think. Also, second topic, the Falcons, as I went through Friday, got the first couple of publications, Lindy's Sports Magazine and Athlon, and both of those publications are picking the Atlanta Falcons to be third. I just kind of wondering, is that really a shock to anybody? I'm really not shocked. Don't misplace that for not being a fan. I'm saying I'm not shocked. I'll tell you reasons why. But I want to know from you personally, are the Falcons really getting overlooked in the national media, or are we maybe creating a narrative that we're not sure of yet? I don't know. And then third, of course, you know, it's your Unc. It's Sunday. We are chilling out. And I'm going to tell you the motivation for this. I was driving home from lunch with my daughter and my wife yesterday, and my wife, who Kira Johnson, love her to death, obviously. She loves John Legend. And when I say love John Legend, I mean, I think I'd be out of luck if Christy wasn't in the picture. She'd probably find a way to say, John, come down here to Atlanta. But anyway, I've kind of gotten hip to John a little bit more lately because, you know, of her love for him and everything. But he has a song called Nervous. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to his last album, which is not getting the airplay it deserves, it's actually a really good album. And it's one of those kind of slowish jam things. And I say to myself, ooh, I want to put that in my playlist. That's in my slow jam summertime playlist. And not only just for the song as a whole, but just those lyrics that you have to the song. So it just got me to thinking, making my playlist, my summertime slow jam playlist this summer. I want to know from you all, what are your favorite slow jams? And what's the lyric from those songs that kind of catch you? For example, I'll throw this out, and I always think about Fire and Desire from Rick James and Tina Marie. God bless them both. But just that first line when you say, remember when I used to love them and leave them? Who cannot, when you hear that in that song, get that, woo, that little chill going? So that's what I'm talking about. Those songs, more importantly, the songs and then the lyrics from those songs that just catch you. So that's our three topics today. Which of our Atlanta Falcons are said to have that mean streak, dog, and are the Atlanta Falcons really getting overlooked in the national media? And third, your favorite slow jam and the lyric from that song that gives you goosebumps. And I know I just mentioned Fire and Desire to start it off. Please add on to the list, add on to the chat. We'll get you guys started. Before I introduce my first guest in here, let me go through the chat, see everybody coming on. John Brooks, what is going on? Say, Uncle Steve, I'm first, and I smashed that like button. I can't wait for the season to start. Baseball is getting boring, though I love the Braves. Yeah, I love the Braves too. And let me tell you something, for those of you who are down in the dumps that the Braves lost one game, which I think is their second game out of 16 that they've lost. They are, for baseball, they are on such a great streak. Don't worry about it. It's all good. But yeah, I love my Braves too, but you know how that is. False start in the house. Getting over man John Brooks about getting first in there. But we appreciate you coming in here, false start. Dondre in the house. What's going on, sir? Say, hey, Uncle Steve, would you say the Falcons have a big three in Pitts, London, and Patterson? No, not those three. If that's the big three, that's not the trio that we need to win this year. Tilda, how you doing? Good to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. Jimmy Wayne in the house. What's going on? Happy Sunday to you, my brother. My brother David is in the house. Dave, what's going on, man? D. Sloan represent. Hope I'm enjoying my Sunday. Let's go, Ritter. Yes, sir. All day, all night. Big Travis is in the house. What's up, Travis? Doing all right, man. Trying to stay cool, man. Came in here to get cool. Wallace, how you doing, sir? Good to see you, man. Hope everybody having a blessed Sunday. How you doing, man? I'm good to see you, Kiki, in the house. Thank you. And make sure y'all join her and the crew over there on One Time for the Fan. They are always doing some good stuff over there. And so y'all make sure y'all check them out. I don't know if they're on tonight. I know they usually come on Sunday. But if you are, put it in there. Let them know. Let everybody know. She says definitely Grady as far as the dog on the team. And that's actually probably my number one candidate, even though I do have a free agent that might come close to taking his place. She says Hugh's going to tear Brady's out last at least game. That last game of the season. Yeah, absolutely. I feel that way too. He did. Facebook user, what's going on? So what's going on, Uncle Steve? Hope you're having a blessed Sunday. I am, my friend. David says Grady, AJ, CP, and Lindstrom definitely got that dog. That's a whole dog pound right there. But I have no problem with either one of those people that you had on the list. Atlanta GA Faithful's in the house. What's going on at work? I had to jump in and say, what's up? What's up to you, my brother? Don't work too hard on this Sunday. Lisa's in the house. Hey, Lisa. So I'm okay with us being under the radar at this point in the offseason, given our recent losing records these past 5 seasons. We're understandably not going to get a lot of coverage and love. Bam. I think that's a very important statement that she's saying. We're not going to get, you can't expect, even with the moves we've made free agency-wise, that I think we're going to win the division. I'm saying it, putting it out there, throwing it out in the atmosphere because I think it's going to happen. But you can't expect the rest of the nation outside the Falcons Nation area, outside the Falcons, southeast Well, we can't even say it's Southeast anymore because I guess Carolina has. Well, outside the Atlanta area, you can't say that everyone is going to have the same type thoughts about us. So, yeah, that's very important right there. Travis says the closest dog we have is Calais Campbell. Dude knows how to get his teammates' attention. Yes, I hear you. Jimmy says my Mean Street guys are Campbell, London, Grady, Lindstrom, and Ritter. They will all go in with a mental set to prove we are those guys. It's kind of interesting that you bring that up. And I'm going to stop it right there and bring in my buddy from Smitty Sports Machine. My brother Smitty's in the house. What is going on, Smitty? How you doing out there on a Sunday, my brother?
Hey, what's up, Uncle Steve?
Man, I can't call it, man. How they treating you today?
Hey, man, I'm always being treated good, man. I'm just sitting around the house relaxing today.
I know you had a chance to look at the questions, but I stopped it right there for a reason. Also coming into the house, the absolutely great individual, just crossed the 4,000 subscriber mark, but absolutely narcissistic lead singer of Southern Silk, our buddy Big Low Country in the house. What is going on?
What's going on, folks?
How's your Sunday, friend?
Man, it's going good, Coach. It's going good. It's going
good. I haven't had these guys together in a long time, so it's going to be a lot of that going on today, just to let y'all know. So I hope y'all heard the topic. I stopped at this point right here because he's addressing the first question about having that dog in you. He said 4 names that I can probably go along with: Campbell, London, Grady, Lindstrom. Now, Jimmy mentioned Ritter. I'm gonna start with you, Smitty. Is there anything right now in what you've seen in the last 4 games to now that gives you an inkling that he's that? And I keep saying, dog, I don't want people to think I'm being derogatory when we use the word dog. That's a sports terminology for those guys, those alpha males that might have a little bit more than everybody else. What are your thoughts on Ritter being included in that group?
I don't have a problem with it because I've heard he has great leadership qualities, and that's what you need. And have that kind of mindset means you have a dog somewhere in you. So him being part of that conversation, I absolutely have no problem with it.
That's interesting. What say you, Big Low? What do you see? I mean, I know I looked at the OTAs and I saw a puppy out there. I know if I saw a dog, I was trying to what you say, Coach? I don't know.
boy. Dago. Well. So. All right. So first of all, let's break this down because I noticed you said whenever you were describing a dog.
Yes.
First of all, let's talk about what's a dog because because you said something while you were describing it and my ears flared up. You said alpha male. Whenever you talked about a dog. Now, one thing, and I hate to steer the conversation, but one thing that a lot of people have to realize is that there's only 2% of men are alpha males, right? So it's like most of the men who say they're alpha males aren't alpha males. So I think there's a lot of people who are dogs that aren't alpha males. You see what I'm saying? So it's okay. So it's like whenever you say you got that, it's like, for example, it's like Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson, he's a really good player, very talented. Does he have that dog in him?
Judging at Texas, I would have said it, but I don't know. Watching him at Texas, I would put him as one of those folks who would. I think sometimes, and stay with me here, but since you brought up the definition, because to your point, yeah, alpha, you can only have 1 out of 100. Fair to say, 1 out of 50
Yeah.
alphas in your group.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? Um, I think he has. Yeah, maybe it's more dog in him as far as being able to be tough and running. So I do kind of get your point when you might be saying maybe he's not an alpha in there. So I
Yeah.
kind of get that.
I think it's one of those situations like, what's the definition of a dog? Like, it. I in my mind, it's like I remember one time, the first day I've ever coached football, there was this kid. We had this drill where they're supposed to flatten their back out and go underneath this metal bar.
Okay.
They had, it was like
A
mini
limbo?
camp. Nah, like limbo.
You said go.
Forward, going forward. They being
Okay,
forward.
all right.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, if that's what you want to call it. But but they had the helmets on. It was mini camp, and the kid, whenever he ran through that thing,
Right.
I heard the loudest. Well,
Oh,
it probably
wow.
do. Anyway, his head tore that thing up. But he got up and he wanted to run through it again because he learned the hard way that he didn't, he wasn't low enough. I feel like that's a dog. Like, you don't got to be an alpha male to be a dog. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, so it's I think it's just like a level of toughness. It's a level of, it's a mentality to be a dog.
Level of aggression. I agree with that.
So
Yeah.
with that definition being more clearly defined, have you seen enough of Ritter to call him a dog? We'll leave the alpha male out of it. Have you seen enough from him to describe him in that dog character? I had no problem with Jimmy Wayne's from Campbell, obviously. London, I definitely saw a lot of fight and scrap in him. Lindstrom and Grady we don't even need to talk. But have you seen enough from Ritter to put him in that category, Coach?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's a dog.
Okay.
I think
Said
he's a
that with
dog.
no conviction at all, but I hear you. I mean, I'm just trying to.
He said it with a straight face.
Yeah, I think he's a dog.
Okay.
I've been saying way Matt Ryan was a dog. Like, Matt Ryan was a dog. Like, that's something that
This is true.
we can't disagree about. Like, he was a dog.
I agree.
Yeah.
With you. I agree with you. Yeah, Matt was tough. Matt's a tough dude. People can say whatever they want to say about Matt in their career, but
Now, Chris Chandler wasn't a dog.
No.
Chris Chandler wasn't a dog.
that Super Bowl season he was though, man.
Was he really?
He took some brutal physicality during those playoff games, bro. I mean, Minnesota hit him so much they had to help him down the field on one of those plays. Do you remember the drive at the end? They had to help him down the field.
I think he was being dramatic. He ain't done wrong with that boy.
Save me from this dude, man. Save me.
I can't do it.
All right, Lisa says, I believe Drake London has some dog in him. I do too. Facebook user says, we definitely getting overlooked. The only person I heard so far talk about us having a successful season is former NFL O-lineman Davian Woody. He thinks we will take over the NFC South, and we are a young talent team with some excellent veteran talent. Now, I have heard, what's her name? Mina Kunis.
Mina
Kimes.
Out and said she thought the Falcons were going to be good too. So that does lead to the second question about are the Falcons being overlooked in the national media. Smitty, I heard you guys talk about it. You and Berto from 95 North Sports Talk. I heard you guys talk about the national perception. You were talking about Colin Cowherd, who to me, I don't even include him in whatever. But The reason I brought the question up is I brought up something recently where I said, yeah, we here in Atlanta, of course, we're going to think the world of what the Falcons are doing and the moves we made. And I legitimately think we're going to win the division. However, how am I supposed to expect the outside world to look at our last 5 years and then just automatically click to say, oh, they got 4 free agents, so they're going to be number 1 in the South? Is it unfair for us to look too hard at these national pundits and get mad when they say the Falcons aren't the team? I think it's fair, to be honest with you, from a national standpoint. Let's put it this way, and I throw this example at you. Is anybody talking about Houston being better this year, even though they just got top 3? They got 2 out of the 3 top draft picks.
2 of the best players in the draft.
Absolutely. But I don't hear anybody else talking about them turning their season around. So from your perspective, is it a big deal that the national media is not in love with the Falcons at this time?
I don't think so, man. Everybody entitled to their own opinion of what they see. Only really to me, I think only the Falcons know what they can do and how far they can go with the right coaching. But Colin Cowherd, man, he does things for shock value, just like a guy like Jason Whitlock. So at the end of the day, perception is everything. And I think it's fair as well, because you got to get on the field, see what you can do, see what you can put up, and see how you gel as a team as the season go on. If you get stronger, that's when the analysts get kind of quiet and start taking notice. You could talk about paper champions, but that wouldn't do no good. So it's just time to show and prove.
Right. Talk to me, Big Low.
I mean, I think it's one of those cases where, how many times have we said we're going to turn it around and we haven't turned it around? So it's like, they need to. It looks like we need to talk to somebody from Missouri. Show the Shelby State.
I see what you did.
We need to just go ahead and show them, Bo. In the words of, look, I think it's who sung that song back in the day? Was it?
Which one?
Put It On Paper. I don't know if y'all know anything about that one.
Probably John Harris. I don't know. That's John Harris's favorite. That's
Al Green
quote. Take it
Al
off
Green.
the field and take it off the paper and put it on the field.
There you go.
That's his statement to live by.
That's it, man. I think Falcons just need to put it on paper.
That's what you gotta do.
So it's like, if you can, it's kind of like that uncle who been saying he gonna get right over and over again, and he'll never get right. Every family reunion, hey nephew, you never get $20. I ain't trying to, I'm trying to straighten out and everything. Just let me get $20. So it's like he said that in 2022. Last time you see him at that family reunion.
That's all they asked for, 20.
Exactly. Because this inflation ain't no joke, bro. Let me get $40 off of you, nephew.
Oh, man.
So
you need tax.
Exactly. So, but I am going to tell you though, it's one of those cases where this year, since we having all this dog talk, and in the words of one of my mother's favorite dance songs, back from the 60s or 70s or whatever it was. This year we're gonna go ahead and walk the dog. Come here, boy. That's what we're gonna do this year, boy.
They walk the dog. And that was the 60s.
Oh, that was 60s. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and walk the dog.
Why you out of control?
Speaking of songs, my brother Corliss is in here. What's going on, Corliss? How you doing, my friend? He said, good afternoon, Steve. 97 and 63. The Falcons have never been respected by the sports media. No surprise there. His song, and you two, we're going to get to the song here in 1 second after we read a couple of comments. His song as far as favorite slow jam and lyric is Secret Garden. And given fair credit to it, it was The Secret Garden by Quincy Jones featuring Barry, Albee, James Ingram, and El DeBarge. And his line was, I want us to take our time. We have all night.
Hello.
And that was, I think, Barry's. I can't hit that low. I think that was the spoken part of it.
Big Low can hit
Big, Big Low trying to prove something. One time for the fan checking in, man. What's going on, brother? Good to see y'all in the house. Thank you for joining us.
My brothers, my sister. One time
I see
for the fan.
Kiki comes and said Jack and Bodie will be on tonight at one time for the fan. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that update. I appreciate that. Dexter says, I don't think we trade Cordarrelle Patterson. I keep seeing all them rumors. I understand we drafted Robinson, but in he goes. Well, let me get y'all thoughts on that real quick. And what's going on, Gator? I see you in the house, man. What's going on, my brother? I'm not feeling trading Patterson, but I would understand if they did. Smitty, what is your thoughts? Of course, the rumors have been to Dallas, I believe, where they were talking about possibly trading him too. From a standpoint of emotional, and I try not to get emotional attachment with players like that, but I would understand if they said at the last minute, remember, Zeke isn't there. They're looking for somebody who could probably catch the ball out the backfield as well. So if we were able to swing something where we get, I mean, we're not going to get higher than a 5th round pick, I'm sure, for a 32-year-old running back. But what are your thoughts on that, Smitty?
I've been talking about this for a couple months, and I don't think it happens. The only way I think it happens at the trade deadline if they come across a deal and they've got their backfield solidified, the wide receivers are on point, because we have other players that can return the football. So, I mean, it's just, something to get everything stirred up. I honestly don't believe they'll trade him, but like you said, it would be a surprise. To the Dallas Cowboys, I seen a trade for him for Gallimore or a defensive tackle, straight up trade. And it makes sense because, like you said, Dallas doesn't have a running back, really. Tony Pollard is coming off a broke leg. The guy they drafted, he's only 5'5", and they need another running back. So going forward, man, we'll see what happens with Cordarrelle Patterson. But the only way I see him getting traded, to be honest, if they have everything situated in where they use him.
I like Deuce, though. I like Deuce Vaughn from
he's
quick, I like that little dude.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be pretty good. With Dallas, I don't know. What you say, Lo? Any thoughts of dangling Patterson out there, or keep him on the team for the last 2 years? He's basically been the ambassador during these 2 7-10 seasons. In my opinion, and to me, I think that speaks volumes. And I know that's a hefty $5 million tag he's carrying with him, but I almost say he earned it from being that guy.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Cordarrelle Patterson was our offense. Like, the whenever he still had gas in the tank at the beginning of the season for the last 2 years. But I mean, think about it. You got these 2 young Thundercats, trying to run the ball for you. And I mean, why not have a guy that could show Bijan Robinson, how to start his career off? And I mean, look, we all know it's still the NFL. People get hit very hard, and people get hurt. So if you do want to legit have that 2-headed backfield, you might as well go ahead and keep Cordarrelle Patterson there and just give him less carries. So whenever we do make this playoff run, he's there and healthy. He could be that X factor for you.
Yeah.
Nice and rested, possibly, and to your point, letting the young guys do their thing. ATL G8 faithful, in the house saying, I think Ritter and D. Alford got that dog. D. Alford, okay. Got that dog in them. Falcons aren't getting overlooked until we prove it. He's absolutely right.
Yep.
And him playing along like everybody else should be. I need to see some songs in the chat, y'all. Says Lauryn Hill and the Fugees with Killing Me Softly was playing at the pool. All those lyrics hit hard, and he's trying to show off that he can afford to be by a pool. Good job by you, brother. But I gotta ask while we sitting here at a pause, and this is really important to me. I need my summer list, y'all. I was telling the story a little bit earlier about my wife. I know "Nervous" by John Legend is one of those songs that I've started to take a like to, mainly because my wife loves it. So I gotta feel that one.
Smart.
What's it? Yeah. Hey. So what song got y'all, man? Talk to me. What slow song kind of got y'all? We got all the questions out. This is the last one, and we're gonna just go with the chat and roll with it. I got a whole list of them here. But what you got first, Smitty? Because I know you a lover, man.
What in the world?
I'm Steve trying to help me sleeping on the couch.
I never thought I'd hear Uncle Steve say that to Smitty, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, Smitty.
It's so many, man. I give y'all a song, but the lyrics they not in my head right now. I'm gonna go back to the 1970s.
There you go.
I'll say Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes with Teddy Pendergrass and I Miss You.
Ooh.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Oh, Smitty took that.
And I like that too, because Smitty thought about that. He looked up there,
Yeah.
and he looked up there somewhere. He was looking up there for it, and he found that song.
Yeah, it's it right there. Yeah.
Lo, I know you got a song or two that kind of perks you up and gets you rolling, man. What song and what line from the song kind of got you rolling?
So we talking. So you said slow songs, right? Like
Slow jam. And the lyric that gave you goosebumps from that song.
Man, that dog on the bars, boy.
Which one?
I like the way you comb your hair. I like those stylish things you wear.
Yeah, he's smooth.
Yeah, boy.
Now, what if she doesn't have hair? Is that song? Is it really? Is it? Is it? Does that song fit there? I mean, I'm kind of messed up that the boys were kind of.
I mean, I never thought about that. You know, I never.
But you got to think about it. He a Hispanic, so they gonna have him.
Yeah, you know he gonna have so good. But you know, I thought about and it's funny because I told my wife we were gonna be talking about this, and for some reason I named one earlier, but that Careless Whisper, man. When homeboy say I'm never gonna dance again, guilty feet have got no rhythm. It's something that just kind of.
That's the truth.
That just kind of grabs it, that one right there, because you know you get that. She got you so. Ooh,
Man,
you know
what I mean? Facts.
So I like that one. I also think the Isley Brothers, that Make Me Say It Again, with homeboy at the end, so girl, you're all I need. Girl, you're all I need. When he just keeps that rolling for about 2-3 minutes, and if that doesn't get to your soul after a minute, Ronald Isley going in like that, I just can't speak to you. I don't know what else to say.
Man, boy.
That's some good stuff right there. Let me hit in the chat and see what people are saying. Todrick's in the house. Todrick say, "What's up, Uncle Smitty? Unc Smitty and Lo, how y'all doing?" Miss Francis is in the house. Hey, Uncle Steve. I'm going with Grady, Algier. Yeah, oh man, we kind of left Algier off the chart in that one. In London, because Algier, man. Algier got his dog tags earned last year.
Oh yeah.
Well, you got to think about it, Uncle Steve. He was a former linebacker, so he know how to take hits.
You know what? And you tell me that every time, Smith, and I keep forgetting that fact.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that. Yeah, you do have to have a little bit of that, especially playing defense. Doing that. Anthony Moss says Grady, Drake, Zoe, and Lindstrom. Honorable mention: Clark Phillips will be in this category as well if he wins the starting job. That'll be interesting to see. I'm barring injury, I think Clark is the best case scenario for him. Possibly play the slot, but I don't see him overtaking Okudah or AJ if everything works out in my.
I'm gonna be honest, Augustine. I think he's more of a replacement for Okudah if they don't resign him. So I could see him as a slot this year or nickelback, and
starting
next year. No, next year.
Next year, okay.
So this year he's gonna, like be in the rotation, but at the same time, I feel like he's just an insurance policy for Jeff Okudah. But what if Jeff Okudah signs another deal? Then what? You have a battle at the nickel spot with D. Alford and Clark Phillips. So we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it will. KLJ in the house, and that happens to be my blushing bride. She says, I'm sure she meant Ritter has puppy vibes. Okay. Which,
dog is a dog.
Which, I mean,
dog is a dog.
She called it as I see it, man. She been around. She know. Charles B in the house. What's going on, Charles? Charles throws out love to Smitty. I see he. Oh, okay. I was about to say he didn't say nothing to Lowe, which wouldn't surprise me. But he did turn around and say, "What's going on?" Ron Smith in the house said, "Let's go dirty. Happy Sunday, Uncle Steve and the crew." Rashad Patterson says, "I think the Dogs going to be Arthur Smith and the defense, the DC, because if they come in with the right game plan, then it could be the X factor as who will be." It's kind of interesting you say that because, Arthur Smith, from the looks of things, like he kind of shed a couple of pounds, man. Like he was in pretty good shape out there, Lo.
Yeah, you can tell. You look like he happy with life.
Yeah.
They said you either gain weight or you lose it. He had that happy lost weight. So
I guess he eat more salad at the end of the day.
There you go.
KLJ comes in again and says, "Well, there are pit bulls, golden retrievers, poodles. So the dog pound has some variety. I just hope the Falcons can find some bite somewhere."
Well, you like my dog.
I try to.
My dog, she bark. Somebody ring the doorbell. They walk in the house.
Hold on. True story, Smitty. I think I was talking to him on the phone, and I was saying something. All I heard was, like she was mad that I was on the phone. I was like, "Hey, it's my fault."
Yeah, I've heard him before. He do that. Yeah.
Ain't gonna do nothing.
Man, control your dogs, man.
Well, it was a grape and a fruit fight.
Kiki says, definitely Drake. He was about to fight the 49ers defense. Oh, you know what? I remember that. He was getting kind of stank in that game. He wasn't even playing. He wasn't playing that. Yeah, he was about to get physical with them boys. I forgot about that. Yeah, Drake is a bad boy. Mario Brown says, "Is expected for us to get overlooked. We've been trashed for 5 years. We got to earn our respect by winning. We'll be good. I love being the underdogs." That's fair.
Very fair.
That's fair. Let me go down here. A lot of people starting to put their songs down here. Let me get one more from Raymond. Raymond says, "When the season starts, all will be told. With the new acquisitions and reconstruction of the team, I'm trusting in decisions on number 9. Hey, I gotta trust him. He's my quarterback, right? We gotta trust him, man. Too late to start talking about Matt Ryan coming back.
Nah, he done, man.
Yeah, he done.
And Raymond comes back. His song is "Lady in My Life."
That's my jam right there.
By the one and only MJ.
That's my jam.
That was it. That might have been like my second favorite song from that album, next to Billie Jean. Yeah, I mean, I like Bad. I like Wanna Be Starting Something. I like Human Nature, but that Lady in My Life, man.
Human Nature, my favorite Michael Jackson song.
Human Nature is
that was my favorite one.
That was pretty good. Yeah. But this one, think about this. Prior to this, if you think about Michael, prior to Lady in My Life, what were his he really didn't have a big ballad. I mean, he was singing the Rats. I don't know if you can get anything out of that, but I mean, he really didn't have any. I guess got to be there, maybe.
Well, that Off the Wall, it was
Oh yeah, she's out of my life.
Yeah.
But did that sound adult to you though? That sounded kind of.
That was kind of bubblegum.
Yeah, that was kind of bubblegum. This was the first adult.
Yeah, that was his first depressed song.
Yeah.
Well, nah, his first depressed song was "You Can't Win." That was his first depressed song.
Oh yeah. I can't forget about that. But it looked like he had that pistol in his side pocket.
They never show the Wiz. They never show the Wiz anymore, man.
They don't show the Wiz no more.
They don't show the Wiz no more, man. Lisa says, "I Call Your Name" by Switch.
He took it back.
That's a good jam.
That's some great ad libs in that, Uncle Steve. You know, we were talking about that other day. Them ad libs.
Oh man, let me tell you. That boy, and I feel sorry for those
Bobby DeBarge
who got the tail end with El DeBarge when the group DeBarge came out. But boy, you missed some good stuff with "I Call Your Name" and "Love Me Over and Over and Over" and "They'll Never Be." That brother could sing.
They'll Never Be. That's another one of my jams.
That's another jam right
there. A lot of these young Thundercats think the beginning of that song was Rich Boy song. No, that's what a lot of these. A lot don't know that. A lot don't know. I used to think about immature things.
They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know. Kiki says love song is "Cry for You" by Jodeci.
Baby,
no, don't start him.
Cry for baby, I'm begging, baby.
But listen, Lo, that was a good song, but that wasn't no. You know what the brother song. So you're having my baby. So you coming out because again, you can relate to that. You coming out that the brothers keeping it real. I ain't married to you, but baby.
Yeah, that's probably the most highest grossing song ever.
That's more relatable.
Man, you notice, obviously nobody mentioned any Drew Hill songs because they know that Drew Hill have like their own category. Over
Please
to the side.
They
know that.
Hey,
Drew Hill.
He'll be able to talk about them if I see one person say a Drew Hill song. But so far, as we're going down the list, I'm gonna show you nobody's in love with you.
Somebody put a Drew Hill song in there.
Let me tell y'all a song.
That's not even none of them songs that you mentioned are my favorite Drew Hill song. You never mentioned my favorite song.
Well, these are the times.
Mm-mm.
I know what your favorite one is. The Love We Had.
Nope.
What?
Wallace said, y'all have to stop listening to all these rumors because they haven't gotten one right yet about our players for our team. Wallace, I ain't say we listening to them.
We just talking.
Brother. Come on, man. He said, I disagree, and it don't make sense to me to trade CP. Yeah, that's why they call them rumors, bro. We not starting them. We just
we just commenting.
We just repeating them.
I mean, if we keep the book, a lot of the rumors have been right. Like Julio Jones.
That's true. That's true.
People were saying Julio Jones was out way before he was on Skip and Shannon. Matt Ryan, John Watson.
He went to the front office beforehand, way before that March. So you probably talking about a whole year.
Yeah.
Go
Bijan Jones.
I'm sorry, Lo. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go to SI today, y'all. When we finish with this, SI had a story this afternoon that's saying they would like for Deion Jones to come back since nobody signed him up. Are y'all surprised? Just real quick, are y'all surprised Deion hadn't been signed, Smitty?
No.
No, not really, because I think to me, he's a pretty good player, but he's undersized for a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
same with you, Lo?
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Nah,
So go back to you, Smitty. Smitty, 1 week before training camp, our linebacker room is nothing to brag about. If he takes a minimum, would you take a flyer on him?
If he takes a minimum, yeah, I would do it because he's veteran. Him being a veteran in this league, and knowing just fitting what Nielsen and Jerry Gray what they're trying to do, I think he would fit in that aspect because I think they're good at getting after the quarterback, and Jerry Gray is good at teaching these defensive backs on how to find the football. So in that aspect of his game, I think it would work.
I mean, Deion Jones, he could be our Quan Alexander. A lot of people forget what was that the year before last? Like he led the team in sacks.
That's right. That's
So
right.
it's
Yeah,
like,
Quan had a good year.
Alberto said that about 3 weeks ago.
yeah,
That Quan Alexander would be a good signing.
exactly. So Deion Jones could be a cheaper version of it. I mean, we all know. I mean, if anybody's seen uh the video that I did on Ryan Nielsen, he talks about how he likes to run those stunts and loopers. And I mean, if we know anything, we know Deion Jones is fast. So it's
Yeah,
like, you know, yeah. I mean, I would definitely bring him back for a vet minimum too. Yeah, bring him on back.
All right.
and
Well,
Kiki brought up a name that we all been talking about the whole offseason. Rashawn Evans. She said she would bring him back.
mhm,
Oh, I know why he ain't coming back.
mhm.
Yeah,
I can't say, but I know why he ain't coming back.
yeah, that's crazy.
Well, if I'm Ralph and Big Low is
Bobby,
Ricky, Big Smitty is Mike.
I said
Gotta be the
Bobby.
youngest. This got to be the youngest of the group. This is Ronnie. Ronnie DeVoe.
Hold on, y'all.
What's going on,
Brother
man?
What's going
Armani.
on?
Brother Armani
What's
in the
good?
house. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. I was going to get some food because I didn't take the salmon out like I was supposed to. So I said,
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to get some
Oh,
food
Lord.
Hey,
real
bro.
quick.
Hey,
Yeah.
you can't be coming on in mid and fault. You supposed to
Hey, man. Hey, I messed up. I messed up.
You can't come on doing that. I'm gonna refresh the questions for you in a second, but I'm gonna get to these songs because there's a lot of people coming there. Heard that before is in the house, by the way. He said CP is the truth. He really gonna help Bijan and Tyler Algier out. Lisa mentions Time Will Reveal by DeBarge. That's an interesting choice. I like that song. That's not one of my favorites, but by them, but I do like that song.
I'll give you a quick cold look into a song, Never Too Much by Luther Vandross. He said he had feelings deep enough to swim in. That was deep.
Good, that's great.
Can't Stop Loving You by
I can't
Kim.
think about Luther swimming. But let's go to Dexter Owens. And we're about Big Low.
I ain't messing with you.
Dexter Owens about to get banned. He talking about R. Kelly marry me. First of all,
Oh,
R.
come
Kelly
on.
marrying anybody is a scary proposition.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm
I'm
gonna say
sorry,
something stupid. It's a right.
There
It's
is
a PG-13
nothing
show.
romantic about listening to R. Kelly in 2023. I
Not
ain't
at
gonna lie
all.
to you.
Not at all.
I was singing You Remind Me of a Jeep just like everybody else was back in the 90s, but it's kind of hard to throw him in there. But I guess it was a song. So
That Love Letter album though, it had some nice like romantic songs. That
Mhm.
Love Letter album.
yeah,
But
who is he singing to? That's
exactly, that's the question.
Yeah.
Hello, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anthony says, my
Y'all
soul
out of
got
control.
old lady by the whispers.
Good one. That's a good one.
That was a real good one. And Kiki just broke it down. I wanna get next to you. Remember the Rose
What
Boys?
what she know about that?
Well, you know, I was about to ask that question because she looked like she about a knee higher than 25 or something like that. So she don't even look like she that old. So I don't know. But she must have been listening to somebody radio.
She listen to what her daddy. That's what that
I was
is. She
just
be
about to
telling
say
her daddy all the
Got an
time.
old
She a
soul.
da-
There's nothing wrong with that. Got an old
She
soul.
a
no,
daddy's girl.
Well, we
Yeah.
got some old ones on here, but I figure, okay. Oh, Jimmy Wayne says his slow jam to this day is This Woman's Work by Maxwell.
That's a good one.
Maxwell be putting it down, too.
Maxwell.
I ain't never seen nobody
Maxwell
else that can
legit.
sing that song other than Maxwell.
But you never heard
Nobody.
me sing it. I can say
Oh
it.
man.
I can say it.
Augusta Gator said Georgia on My Mind by Ray Charles at the end of the game. in the bins. That's my slow jam. Okay, I got you.
Man, I got too
you,
much. I got too much. I got PTSD from that song because the last 2-3 years after we lose, they play that song. So it's like, well, here we are, driving back home through Georgia after another Falcons loss. So
This is a really good one right here, and I want y'all to stay with me because George Michael is one of the best lyric guys. He had "Kissing a Fool," which happens to be from that Faith album. That might have been my favorite song. And his lyric is, "But remember this, every other kiss that you ever give, I just will live." I can't even see the rest of it real, but that song right there.
this is why I'm the lead singer, guys. Y'all heard that,
right? Well, speaking of which, it's funny. The very next question asked was heard that before. It said, "Uncle Steve, when are you and Big Lo gonna have a sing-off?" Now, the funny thing is, again, I've agreed to keep this civil since we on here on the panel. So I guess I have to ask, now that I have a neutral person in Armani in here, and Armani, he's been riding with his ump for a long time, so I know he's already heard the chops before, so he knows that brother can hold a note. Armani, and don't hold back because you see him right there. Do you actually think that this guy can hold a candle?
Well, wait a minute. We got a biased opinion though, because Armani been riding with you for a minute.
Hey, Big Lo, he can do it now. He can do it.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
I'm just saying, he can do it.
So that's what I'm saying.
All I can say is 3 albums. I put out 3 albums. I put out 3 of them.
Again, I'm not talking about what was sold on.
I put out 3 of them. 3 of them.
I ain't talking about when they were selling cassettes.
I was Drake before Drake, but I could actually sing.
I'm talking about. I mean, again, all we got to do is put this together. So, Smitty, it's up to you. Smitty, this is what we want. We want a 3-song sing-off. A 3-song sing-off. 2 of the songs have to be the same, and 1 of the songs will be of our choice.
Okay.
We'll put that together. We're gonna call it, like I said, so we can get out of copyright issues. We're gonna call this an against instead of first. We're gonna call it an against. So it'll be Uncle Steve defeated. Uncle Steve against. And we get this. And look where I was. I was by the playground and I saw this another young kid who happened to be over there. Hey, little kid who just showed up. Hey, little kid, who do you want? Look here, who do you think can probably hold the song better? That guy over there on the top right, or your precious uncle up here? All right,
see, oh my goodness, precious uncle.
Damn spot, man.
Precious uncle.
Wow. And listen, both y'all gentlemen can sing. Point blank period.
On,
but
man,
this verse has got to happen. It's got to have the flow.
Man, don't be neutral.
Unc puts it down too, so it's got to be. Come on now, we got to have this verses, man, for sure.
I appreciate you, Alberto, for looking out for Uncle Steve's feelings.
Here we go.
You're a good
formal
man.
Greeting. It would have been a better greeting if he said the right name. Formal greeting for brother Alberto in the house, joining us, man, from 95 North Sports Talk. What's going on, my brother?
Oh man, just a busy Sunday afternoon, man. That's all. But all is good. All is good and well, man.
I'm gonna, for the sake of the chat, I'm gonna come back to you guys. You guys keep putting your songs down there. I'm gonna catch up with it in a second, but I want to get Armani and Alberto's thoughts on the first 2 questions that were asked. And the first question was, as far as dogs on this team, in other words, those guys that you feel like got that in them on the field. Starting with you, Armani, what players are you pointing out that you think have that particular trait for this team this year?
I'm gonna definitely say Drake London. I mean, Drake London, he's a barker now. He's a barker. He's been like that since college. That's why when they drafted I forgot his name, when they got what's the guy's name from the Pac-12?
Clark Phillips.
Cornerback.
Clark Phillips. Yeah, Clark Phillips.
They used to go at it, so I can't wait for
Yeah.
that matchup in training camp because I'm already waiting on the notification that they got into a fight. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh man.
and Drake, I'm gonna get one for the defense. I'm gonna have to say Grady. Believe it or not.
Yeah, that automatic.
Ain't no
I
fun.
mean, Grady, he's got it in him. He's proved it. I mean, these guys are proving that they can do it at the highest level. You know, I'm not saying because they dogs because of their personality, but that's why when people say Ritter hasn't. Don't get me wrong, Ritter hasn't shown us enough. I don't know. He's a question mark. We don't know what he is yet. So he has to prove that. So I don't know about the rest of the fans, but he got to prove that to me. He got to prove to me that he's that leader. Because anybody can say that in training camp. Anybody can say that in training camp. Listen, what are the results on the football field? That's what I need to know. So anybody can say he's a dog, but how do we know?
So I do want to tell you one thing, Armani. Number one, so you said that Drake London, he showed that he was a dog in college. Desmond Ritter played in college longer than Drake London.
What they got to do with the price of tea in China, man? Stop
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, he showed that he was a dog in Cincinnati.
Man said he was a Chihuahua. He a Chihuahua. He ain't no pet.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Drake London this ain't really Ritter's fault, but Drake London had a great rookie campaign. I mean, we've seen him get after. We haven't had enough body of work to see Ritter to judge him. We already know London gonna be one of the top 10 receivers in the league in the next couple of years. We see it already. I don't know what Ritter's gonna give us. He has to prove it.
But Armani, I'm gonna tell you, like I told the people on Alberto as our show, all that really depends on Arthur Smith and how he uses the run game to help Desmond really slow down the game to develop like he needs to, learn his reads, learn the audible, learn to read defenses. Run game is gonna be important, and that all depends on what Arthur Smith calls on that play sheet.
So I got a question because, and I'm not here to bash Ritter. That's not my MO. But when you get a rookie, especially when quarterbacks like Mahomes and all those guys come into the league, I mean they had decent run games, but for the most part they was throwing the football. And Mahomes is a one in a lifetime type of quarterback. I get it, but the fact that we have to sit here and incorporate, we got to see how and it's not his fault because that's Arthur Smith's system. He wants to run the ball, but the fact that we are in a passing league more so now than ever in the NFL, the fact that we have to say, we're gonna have to slow the game down for him, that put doubts in my mind already. Because this is a passing league. Am I wrong?
Well, running backs are always going to be, to me, the game changers in the game because, running backs are a necessity. Yeah, they don't play long and their careers are short, but what championship team didn't really have a running back that they can depend on?
And I agree with that, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying, for the most part, some of the better quarterbacks they were throwing the football. I'm gonna say 50 to 60% of the time. But that's because
that was the offenses those gentlemen ran into. Like
I was just about to say that too,
Andy
right?
Reid,
Right. Yeah.
He got Mahomes and who else? What's his name from Buffalo? Josh Allen. Situation with Dayball. So the passing league was already there. So those guys walked into that situation, and like Smitty said, man, running backs are a premium. They're not a premium like they should be, but it's still a very necessary position on the field, man. It helps out young Brooks like it's gonna do for Desmond Ritter this year.
Well, let me go back real quick. You said you said something real important. You said what team hasn't had a running back on these Super Bowl picks? Pachero was not.
What?
But
let me finish. Pachero was not a star running back. He had a nice game. Don't get me wrong. Super Bowl, he was very much needed. I'm saying going into the game, nobody was scared of Pachero. We're
key to
talking
Pacheco
about
was killing it the whole playoffs and the end of the
Yeah,
season.
but
What we talking about him? Come on now.
Yeah,
Let's
we're
But
talking
but
about
what I said,
versus an 18
but
game
what I
season. He wasn't
go
really
ahead.
doing
go.
the
I'm
work.
sorry, Berto. Go ahead.
No,
Start
I'm
over,
agreeing
Berto.
with you. That's all right.
Start-
I'm agreeing with you
Yeah.
because Pacheco really wasn't, running through cats for the 17 games. He did break out in the playoffs. He just showed that the playoffs are a different animal, and he was able to adapt to that. But really questioned the 17 games before that. He wasn't really striking fear in the hearts of those defenses. I don't see a game where anybody circle their account and say, okay, we got to account for that guy right there. All defenses have to stop this. So
And the key word to what I said was dependable. Every Super Bowl team has to have a dependable running back.
Exactly.
No matter if they're a rookie, no matter if they're a veteran, as long as they come in and do their job when they need to, and they can depend on them.
Running back for New England.
Go ahead. James White at the time.
James White,
Yes.
If
He caught some passes. He caught more of his passes than he ran.
So you said Burkhead wasn't
Keep
dependable.
it real.
I mean, honestly, we can go back to the Chiefs. I mean, they had Clyde. It was hilarious, but he was there, but for the most part, they weren't all in on it. It was hilarious, and they wasn't gonna. If they stopped running the ball, giving him the ball, Kansas City would have been just fine.
Yeah,
and that's why I bring
don't
up
know
my
about
point.
that one.
That's why I bring up my point. The fact that we have to, have all these pinpoints for Ritter is kind of like, is he really the dog that people are claiming that he is?
So
Right.
this is a copycat league too, Armani too. So don't you think that coaches are going to try and follow in the footsteps of others and before
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of see what Philadelphia did, what Philly continues. What Kansas City continues to do, what Buffalo has been doing. So I see this as just an adaptation to what the league is about right now, man. So,
It's like the way I look at quarterbacks and developing almost any player on the field. I know it's a weird comparison. I compare it to Lil Wayne. And you might say, why I compare that? Because when Lil Wayne first started rapping, he couldn't curse. Lil Wayne couldn't. Yeah, his mom said he couldn't curse. So it's like he developed, and then whenever he came out with F the world, that's when he could actually put everything else in there. Now Lil Wayne is probably one of the greatest rappers of all time. You put that as a quarterback. Moving forward, think about Matt Ryan, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, all of these guys. To Monty's point, they started out with running backs, and once they got their bearings together, then they came along and started throwing the ball more and more. And we look back at a lot of these starting quarterbacks today, as far as top 15, most of these guys had a pretty good running game. A lot of these guys didn't just come out throwing it 40 and 50 times off the top.
I got a question right quick. Are we going to value Bijan Robinson as a true natural running back, or is that title going to stay with Tyler Algier? Because I can see Bijan Robinson being used as that James White type, running back out of the backfield. Because that will right there help out Desmond Ritter tremendously.
Bijan's gonna run, man.
Yeah.
You don't grab anybody at number 8 with the injection of.
You don't.
Bijan is about to run the ball. Bijan's gonna be running back A. Going into C, even though I did notice, like I said, when we went to the little practices, they had Tyler Algier in there with the first team most of the time. But I think the plan is to have Bijan out there, Tyler spell him a little bit, and then we'll go from there. Bijan came here to run the ball.
I came up with a name for that tandem: Authors of Pain. I think that's it's going to be. It's going to be just like that.
I would like to debate Bigelow in his last little soliloquy he said about Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's first claim to fame was after you get up and stack, not whack, drop it like it's hot. That was his first big.
Goddamn, he listening to New Orleans based music.
Yeah. From that great Negro spiritual, back that thing up.
And that's what it feels like, because as soon as that beat come on, you know what time it is.
There you go. Matter of fact, I need to check out that Tiny Desk of Juvenile. It was really
I saw that.
That was good.
I didn't realize that
was good.
Play them keys like that, man.
Oh, Fresh that dude.
Fresh is
Fresh
yeah.
that dude, what?
Just go on YouTube and see how he made beats. It'll amaze you.
Oh no, Manny Fresh is the truth, Smitty. He is the absolute truth.
I just realized like 2 weeks ago that his name is like double entendre, like he is fresh, Manny Fresh. I don't know if y'all knew that, but
Let me ask y'all, how long y'all think Big Lo took to think about that?
it took. I just said like a couple of weeks ago. I just realized it.
How long did y'all think?
I just realized it a couple weeks ago. Oh, so y'all knew that?
Oh man,
y'all just knew that? Y'all just realized that?
Let me run through this right quick because folks will put these songs down there, and I don't want to ignore these folks. They got some good ones. Dre on here says, "I'm gonna have to say, Lenny Williams, I love you." Coach Roney in the house.
Coach
Roney. These are the time,
yes.
And I know the only reason she said that because she was being Tammy Wynette and she was standing by her man. But we ain't trying. We ain't got time.
They sang a mean duet.
We are deleting this, Coach Roney. We deleting this right now. Augusta Gator says "Purple Rain" is another great slow song too. I keep forgetting about Prince, man. Prince is pretty good. Lisa says the Under the Radar love song is by TLC. Let's Take Our Time. Chili sang her face off on that song on the Crazy Sexy Cool CD. And I was listening to Red Light Special on that song because that was the one that came out on as the single on that, but I didn't pay as much attention to Crazy. Was Crazy Sexy Cool the one that Waterfalls?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that was
no.
I think that
Waterfalls.
Right?
I think it was.
I think it was. That was the second album, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Somebody in the chat let us know. False Start said, I know y'all talking slow song, but Backstabbers by OJ's go hard. Why are you trying to bring hardness into
it was on Crazy Sexy Cool.
It's Crazy Cool. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I just Googled it. Yep.
Kiki says, always and forever. How did we forget
Always
that?
and forever.
Ooh, y'all say that together.
Say that thing, Berto.
Come on.
Loki in the house. Loki says, "Tender love."
I'm about to cut this
wow.
short right quick. Hold on now.
Hold on. Coach Roney says, Coach Roney says, y'all haven't heard Coach Lowe sing Notebook by Chris Michelle?
Chris Michelle. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I write in my notebook, X's and O beside your name.
After that example, after that example, do we even need do we even
Hey, I don't know. I don't know.
Anwar gives us some love. Anwar said anything from Southern Stilt, especially with Steve on lead vocals, is my favorite.
I don't see that part. Where that part at?
I can't see it.
Where that part?
I think I got it hit. Hold on. I can't see the. Hold on. Let me lift it up.
I don't see. Wait a minute. Is there a separate chat?
Wait a minute.
Where that part?
Lisa said Bobby Brown, I want to rock with you, baby. They have a remix of that song.
What?
That was the I want to rock.
Oh, yeah.
That
one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the video version. The video of the song is a different version.
David, take it real bass. Put on your red dress.
Okay.
They're trying to give.
Oh, yeah.
Some of that sweet perfume.
See, y'all did for him.
Coach Roney, we need to go through our homework.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't see KLJ coming up here defending me in a minute. Y'all better watch this. Raymond says Luther's Wait for Love. I remember spending all my time on a hope that kept me wishing you'll soon be mine. Boy, that is
wow. That's deep.
That's so.
Man, that was a great song.
Yeah.
That was. My brother Chuck in the house says, "Link to the party. What's good, fella?" Yeah, y'all forget, man. While y'all laughing with us and putting stuff on here, y'all put some likes in the on the video for me, man. And if y'all haven't subscribed, please do so. We appreciate
Berto in that Braves jersey down there. I see you, Berto.
And then look at Coach Roney. How's she gonna be an agent on the outside? Talking about heard that before. So I'll gladly sing backup vocals with Coach because he really needs me because he sucks. Oh no, he's guilty.
Hey, don't do him like that.
Oh man,
Appreciate that, Coach Rody. Thank you, baby. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that.
She like
Coach
I respect Coach way more than Lowe's boy.
What?
I respect, man. Come on, bro.
What?
Okay, so listen. We do it. We gonna do this right now. Again, we gotta have 3 songs. We gotta have 3 songs. 2 songs that we have to sing the same, and then 1 song that we sing apart.
Oh,
So
okay.
we have to choose 1 song that both of us sing together. We're gonna do this, y'all. I don't know when we're gonna do it, but we go. What is that? Playing
that Jamie Foxx. Somebody playing that Fox.
Jamie Foxx, is that what it is?
Yeah. That's my wife. She cleaning up.
Oh, she cleaning up.
Yeah.
She trying to. She saying. No, she might be saying, Smitty, speak up. You know you can sing.
That's it. This your song, Smitty. This your song.
Stop trying.
You better. You not playing.
Don't be
You already got the most colorful microphone.
Hey, I told you I'm the Kurt Franklin of the group, and I'm sticking to that.
You better sing, Smitty.
Berto tried to trick me one time, but y'all ain't gonna do it.
Oh shit. Oh man, that's hilarious.
I'm gonna stick with Kurt Franklin.
330 says a song for you by Ray Charles.
Mm.
Oh, see my wife. See, let me show you how my wife is. See, she looking out. She said she getting out the mic stand. She already know because it's business time.
So let her know. I like the mic stands with the heavy bottom.
About you, bro. You already.
What in the world? I like the mic because I like the kick the stands back and forth like Usher and then sway back and forth and grab it.
Oh man. What's up, Devontae? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you in the house, man. Let's see. Yeah, Coach Rolley talking about Mrs. Smitty has spoken. Let's hear some Jamie Foxx. Smitty, you hold it back.
Smitty hold out on us.
No, I ain't holding out like
While we waiting on Smitty to kill his throat, Berto, the second part of the question that we were talking about was about the media perception of the Atlanta Falcons and are the Falcons really getting overlooked in the national media? I know I've heard you talk about it before, but just for this audience, could you give us your thoughts on the national perception of the Falcons going into 2023?
This NFL is so, what have you done for me lately? And everything is in the now. And the Falcons really haven't done much. And we all know that. But they discredit like the moves that we've made this year, the veteran talent that we brought in to mesh with these youngsters on this roster right now. The key additions we did in the coaching department. You can't help but respect the Falcons and not overlook them. They've assembled a pretty great roster and coaching roster also. So they need some respect. They need to just off the hire of Jerry Gray and bringing up an up and coming defensive coordinator such as Ryan Nielsen. Man, it should be enough to garner the attention of the NFL world. Man, those guys did work, respectively for their teams in those times for Green Bay and for New Orleans. But with all the moves that we brought, Calais Campbell, Caden Ellis, David Onyemata, the list goes on. Drafting Bijan Robinson. Falcons, they're an up and coming team, man. So I don't think the NFL should be overlooking us as much as they do. Excuse me. So that's my thought on that, man. I'm just ready to be in win mode now, man. I'm just ready.
And before I switch that same question over to Armani, I want to go back to you, Berto. Mm-hmm. Is it fair to say that the national media is tainted because they haven't seen the Falcons win since 2017? Mm-hmm. And as similar as it would be to say, hey, Houston has a lot better players this year, so we expect them to be better. Mm-hmm. But the national perception of them is, well, they haven't won in 6 years. What makes you think they're going to win this year? Mm-hmm. So what evidence do you have to say, not evidence, but what do you have that would make the national media think the Falcons are going to be any better? And I'm not saying that as a challenge. I'm saying as what do you expect them to think?
Yeah, right. And I get your point too. So of course they're going to look at us and say, okay, they haven't really done nothing the last 2 years, but we're not a team that was overwhelmed in any of the games that we've had the last 2 years. We can all go back to maybe that Cincinnati game where we were blown out of the water. But other than that, we've been pretty competitive on a really restricted budget. And Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot have done an excellent job trying to put the best product out for us. Probably not the product that we all wanted in these 2 years, but man, it's not like we were getting ran over these past 2 years either, man. So there's something on this Falcons roster now that we've assembled that is gonna help us be competitive in 2023.
Same thoughts, Armani. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Let me get Armani in there real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I kind of share some of Alberto's sentiments, but I mean, I'm a person of change behavior. You got to prove it. I mean, you can have all the additions you want to. You can do this, move this piece, move that piece until it comes together and you start winning. Because like I said, we are already 5 straight losing seasons. You have to prove to not only the fans but the media that you deserve that respect. It's not given. The same thing how we feel about Ritter or any other rookie that come in here. Respect is it. I mean, you have to earn that. You have to earn it. It's not given. You can't expect the media to just come out just because you made a bunch of moves and say, oh well, boom, the Falcons are going to win this division or the Falcons are going to go to the playoffs. Listen, you got to earn it. Every little thing in this league, you got to earn. So you got to earn that respect. Again, 5 straight losing seasons, and then you coming in with besides all the additions you made, you coming in with a quarterback that you're not sure about. Well, they're sure, but nobody's sure about. Unproven. I do think Ryan Nielsen is going to be the real deal. I've had a chance to kind of see him behind the scenes when he was at NC State. But I think that I believe that the Falcons can get to the playoffs at least this year. But I mean, we have to kind of take our blinders off a little bit as fans and look at it from an outside standpoint. Because I mean, if you look at the rest of the league and what some of the other fans are saying, they'll tell you, hey, these are the teams that are going to make noise this year. These are the teams that they're already projecting us to have the 12th pick next year, like you said, and you're right. So I mean, you got to prove it. So right now is the time to prove it. Ritter, it's time to prove it. Arthur Smith, it's time to prove it. If you come up and we 2-5, 2-6, hey, you got a lot to answer for. You got a lot to answer for.
But my thing to you, haven't they been doing that all off season? Retooling this roster. This the best front office we ever had.
Hello.
So you look at the last 2 years is rebuild, reconstruct, refinance, or whatever word you want to use. They went through all of that, and now they get the chance to finally put their type of team on the field. And like you said with the coaches,
do you expect everybody else to think that though, Smith? I agree with you.
But look, this is the key point. We know what Arthur Smith's mentality is, that toughness mentality. So what does he do? Go out and get a defensive line coach that had that same mentality, defensive back, secondary assistant coach that coaches DBs and teaches that same philosophy. So now you have three like-minded coaches on every level. So now if all they have to do is put it together. So this is why I said the coaching is probably the biggest reason the Falcons will turn around. Not the players, it's the coaches that have put those players in position to win.
The Atlanta Falcons are the kid. I don't know if y'all used to go to the basketball court when y'all were young. I'm sorry.
I used to ball out.
Yeah, you used to ball out, right? But check this out, Berto. You remember when you was like that young Thundercat, 13, 14 years old?
You're the last person.
You're that.
I was on those
You know those. Yeah, you was the one getting turned around. You know? But it's like me. I grew up on the basketball court every summer. Like that's what we did. Like we balled out.
Sun up to sundown.
Every year, it's like there'll be that one kid who he was like almost of age, like 13, 14, 15. He was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, we don't know what you're capable of. The last 2-3 years, you were just okay. And then that 1 year, he just comes up and he comes out, he's dunking on folks and, he's shooting threes and everything else. Basically, we're hoping that's what the Atlanta Falcons could be. It's like the last 5 years, we ain't really done too much of nothing. Right. But this year, it's like, we plan on coming to the court this summer and showing up and showing out.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So let me go back. Let me go back to what Smitty was saying. Smitty, everything that you said is accurate. Every move you say you make, and you're right. Because we're here at ground zero here in Atlanta, we see the coaches coming in. We see Coach Gray coming in and doing what he's going to do with the defense. We see what Arthur Smith's philosophy is in bringing more running back in here to get the backfield started. My biggest thing is perception. That's why I brought up the question. The question was whether or not the national media thinks that, not us here in Atlanta. Here in Atlanta, we see it right offhand. There's nobody outside probably the state of, I don't even want to say state of Georgia, probably outside the metro area of Atlanta that thinks that the Falcons are going to be more than a third place team. And that, I think that's what we're battling. It's not the facts that you brought out, which are facts. I'm talking about the national media perception. That's never going to be broken until you go. You know what is going to be broken?
Yeah.
You're 1-0. Because we hadn't had a winning record in 5+ years.
2,000 days.
Over 500. So, 2,000 days. Soon as we're over 500, then people might start saying, "Oh, okay, I see about the Falcons. I see what's going on." Speaking of underrated and underappreciated,
it just got real in here.
We see him over there. Right, I don't even know. It is funny to me. Like as many times as I see him, he has the most nondescript background. In that same IKEA chair he bought 5 years ago when I first met him. He moved his little cheap TV so nobody can talk about him. Wow. And the man can't buy a shirt with sleeves on it to save his life. We love him anyway. John Harris in the house. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Mr. John?
God.
Gentlemen,
There it is.
how y'all doing?
Everybody
All right,
good,
yourself,
John.
man.
Good.
Everybody good except Uncle Steve, Mr. John, because he hating on you today. Like, what?
I didn't hate on him. I didn't hate on my buddy.
Uncle
Yeah,
been a little
well,
spicy today, man.
Thing is, there's a way to overstate the facts in a way where you make. Oh, the sun came up. Jeez, what do they call it? Damning with faint praise. Yeah. Okay. All right. But. That background is plain and black and white. Okay. That's what I got to put down. The black and white of the situation. Okay. And gentlemen, like I heard Armani say, you gotta earn respect. Because if you don't earn that respect, if you don't set a foundation by which respect is supposed to be garnered and gathered, it doesn't mean anything. And it goes away real quick.
Don't mean nothing.
It disappears. It's revealed to be somebody blowing smoke. You know what? Because people will tell you a whole bunch of, oh, you're just so wonderful. You're just so this. You're just so that. And you know that you dragging rear end. You know how bad you are.
Yeah.
All right. You know how that you ain't half doing anything. And a lot of times you'll get fooled to thinking that people just, oh, well, I really don't have to do nothing. All I got to do is just show up. Everything's going to be okay. I remember car brochures when they used to be paper, when they had the beautiful pictures of the new Oldsmobile Toronado with the nice, fluffy cushions.
The Oldsmobile what?
All of that stuff. And the
Toronado.
thing is, oh my God, I'm sorry.
I was about to say, I was about to say, now,
I'm
you
sorry.
know you're talking to a
Money,
2023 audience, right? I want you to plan. What I want you to do,
Oldsmobile Tornado?
what I want you to do, John.
Tornado.
1 second. Pretend like you're watching the Jetsons, like you used to back when you were little. And
Well,
Go
hey,
to,
like it's
uh,
coming up.
that was in 66.
Go to
Tornado?
Big
You
no,
don't
go
remember
to
the tar?
go to
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
go to
all
Jay
right.
Leno. Go to Jay Leno's car page. He has one in mint condition.
No, I know it. I know what it is. I'm saying the audience might not know it.
They just moved the N and the A in tornado.
No, it's
Tornado.
Toronado.
Yeah, they put an R in there. Tornado.
It's a Toronado. First front wheel drive GM car came out. But any car. Okay, let's go Mercedes Maybach.
Thank you, G.
When you look at the brochure, all you're getting is a picture of what this is. In order for you to know what it is, you got to go see it. You got to go drive it. You got to go experience it.
Uncle Steve know what that feel like. He got one.
I ride in it sparingly. I don't know why I always.
Oh yeah.
Back.
He made me drive it. He sit in the back. He make me drive it.
Why he singing in your face?
Exactly. That's it.
But my analogy is this: you trust Mercedes-Benz to build a good car. They have years of track record in building a good car. You know that when Mercedes says this or says that about something that they're about to do, you can be assured that they are going to do it, and they're going to do it big. They're going to do it best. I don't know anything about what I have here as far as the Falcons are concerned. For the past 3 years, we, understandably so, because we didn't have any money. Now, we've got to know, and we've got to see whether once you got money that you spend it on the right thing. Do you have the coaching staff to bring out the right thing for the most important position on the football field? Okay, and that's my pet peeve. That's always been my pet peeve. I was not convinced that they did. Some of the moves that they made, I was not convinced that they did. So here we are. We're going to get a full year's worth, hopefully, of knowing whether this man, Desmond Ritter, is going to be the quarterback. He's going to be the one to carry the torch. He's going to be the one that you're going to hook your fortunes to. I'm just waiting. And it is an unproven commodity. It's not been proven yet. And you know what my motto is. Get it off the paper, put it on the field.
We attributed that quote to you about
there we go
30 minutes ago. Did we not, fellas?
Yep, sure did.
Sure did. Yeah, we spoke it. We spoke in your honor. Matter of fact, I even took my sleeves up and pretended like I
was. So basically, what you saying, Mr. John?
On selling that shirt on eBay, no time.
So
messed it up.
So basically, what you're saying, Mr. John, you're saying that the Falcons, since we're using car analogies, the Falcons are the Tesla Cybertruck. Nobody knows what they are. They could be great. You
haven't seen it yet.
We haven't seen it yet.
Promising it.
Exactly. Question mark. We don't know.
Exactly.
But in a sense, John,
and we can't react. That's one thing. I can't react to what everybody is saying about what, we might be 5th place, 3rd place, 4th place, might win the division, might not win the division, whatever. Okay, thank you. I'm really glad you think we can do that. Or, you think we're going to be that bad? Okay. So my thing is that, hey, we got to go get it did. Get it did.
That's true, John. But when you talked about Mercedes-Benz, you said you expect them to put things together. That's what the Falcons expect Terry Fontenot to do. And that's exactly what he's done the first 2 years. Like I said before, the first year, somebody else roster. Second year, salary cap here. So he's brought us through all that to get to this point. So to me, that is enough to garner respect, confidence, and all that other good stuff to say that they should have a good season.
I'll say this to counter that. And I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you good.
Terry Fontenot has probably done what I expect any new GM would have came here and did. And I'm just being completely honest. Matt Ryan falling off a cliff. Julio falling off a cliff. You had to get rid of those guys and get off that contract. Any GM would have came in and did that. So, I mean, to put it on paper, okay, cool. You got some big name free agents in here. Until it transpires on the field and we can see it, I can't fully invest my hope in a winning season until they prove it to them. It's kind of like, when something keeps happening to you and it keeps happening and it keeps happening, it's like, okay, it's bound to happen again. We're creatures of habit. So until the Falcons can convince us that they can win and win consistently, I can't be mad at fans who are doubting or have self-doubt about what we're seeing. People are saying, what about especially with the draft picks? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. When they put that pick in and they said Bijan Robinson, I'm like, at 8?
I mean, it's like I hear what you're saying, Monty. Whenever you mention creatures of habit are going to keep doing the same thing, I think one thing that we do have to keep in mind is that these aren't the same creatures. Like, so those guys that were on the football field, those are completely different guys from 2 years ago. The guys in the front office, those are completely different guys from 2-3 years ago. It's like, and then like the point that you made about Terry Fontenot, I mean, yes, any other GM would have tried to would have tried to turn that roster over. But I think what everybody is bragging on with Terry Fontenot is what you got in return when all of that was going on. So it's like, whenever you got rid of the Julio Joneses, you got back the draft picks and, they took on some more of that salary than we expected. Whenever you got rid of Matt Ryan or Deion Jones, like people forgetting that, we actually got rid of Deion Jones and then we turned that whole roster around because one big thing about being a GM this is just life, period, guys. One big thing about being successful in any type of business is about the relationships. And that's one thing that Terry Fontenot has done is like he had a good relationship and, hopefully he put together a great defense with that relationship. Hopefully, we know if we're a fifth, we'd all be drunk, but hopefully.
I will say what impressed me about Terry, and it's kind of funny because when he said his first interview, he came here, he was like, his son came on and said, "Who's your favorite player?" Julio Jones. The next season, got him up out of here.
He was gone. Let me slip 2 quick points in here because I don't want to get twisted. What the point of that question was? The question was, are the Falcons getting overlooked in the national media? So when everyone keeps coming up with we're not getting respect, I'm not talking about us internally. Of course, you need to pat Fontenot on the back, as Lo said, to be able. These were trades made. So when those trades are made, we're talking about not only taking the salary. All we had left was the bonus money we had to get rid of, and it only took 1 year to get Julio off. It only took 1 year to get Matt off. So, and Deion Jones was a straight up trade. We didn't have to take any of that salary. So you got to give him credit for doing that. But I don't want it to get twisted because I hear what you're saying, Lo, when I was listening to you talk about the acquisitions and the things we made. Or was that Smitty, one of y'all? I don't think the Falcons fan base is unhappy for the most part, except John, about the acquisitions that we made. I think I'm saying the people from the outside, the national media, why aren't they seeing the same things we are? And the answer lied in what Armani was saying was, we haven't given them anything to bite off of. What did we give them? 2018, 2019, 2020, 2020.
But you can think about last year though. Think about last year. It was supposed to be a 2-15 team. And he had a bunch of scrubs on the field.
That's not how the national media thinks, though. Smitty, that's not how they think.
Nobody's going to care. Let me ask you a question, Smitty. Is anybody going to care between the difference between 2-15 and 7-10?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so that's
top
what I'm
10 pick.
So it's still a losing. Exactly. That's still a losing season. So I'm just saying, I'm not trying to dim people's thoughts about what the Falcons are doing. I am all in. Matter of fact, I even said yesterday on the live I did, not yesterday, Friday, when I was talking about, I think this defense is going to shock some folks. I really think the defense. I look forward to what the defense is going to do more than the offense. The offense got the big question mark to me. I think we're going to be head and shoulders above. And there's one question. I'm going to get in here real quick. Let me get to a couple of these things in here. First of all, we got Little 95. Benny 95 knows say he could confirm that he was never on the AN1
as soon as I'm done.
So he validates that Berto was number 11 kicked on the court. So he does validate. On 5 on 5. I don't know what N1 is. Yeah, he does.
That's funny.
Berto, your son just said you were the one that just automatically put your name on the board because you weren't gonna get picked. That's what he said. That's basically what he said.
I don't see that.
I got down. That's what Berto be saying.
No, I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay.
Right,
this is a very good. This is a very good question that Lisa says, and it really feeds into what we're talking about. She said, "Didn't some media put rookies ahead of Ritter? What respect have they earned? And they haven't played an NFL snap yet. These people just be writing anything." But I'm gonna tell you what it is, Lisa. Again, I'm not agreeing with it, but you know what I'm hearing? People nationally don't think Atlanta is good. That's the part that I like to fight.
The jealousy, huh?
I like to fight the person who doesn't think my team is good. I like to fight the San Francisco fan who thought they were going to come in here and just run over us. And they had all their starters except for one or two defensive guys.
Yes.
I like the fact that we come over in the same Carolina team that they're thinking Bryce Young is already better than Desmond Ritter. I like the fact that we slap them around when they come to the Dome. Barely, but slap them around when they came to the Dome. These are the fights that I'm talking about internally. Lisa puts out a very good thought. Alberto, why do you think, I mean, I'm asking this just objectively. I'm not asking this as a Falcon fan. I already know the answer. But why do you think they put Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and I know the list she's talking about, they've already put them at like 26, 27, and they got Ritter at 30.
Sam Howell.
Bigger schools that they came from, potentially, college. It has to do everything with college and what they did in college. So
I think
but Ritter, he put in work for Cincinnati too, man. He was a proven winner there, man. So, I mean, but I don't understand that narrative. Why
I'll say this, when I'm gonna take CJ Stroud, for example. We seen what he did, and we can all agree. The Ohio State Georgia game was the national championship game. I don't care what nobody say. That was the national championship game. We seen what he did against that stud defense. We seen it. We seen what Bryce Young did against Georgia at the number one defense. We've seen what Ritter did when he played the number.
Armani, just a reminder as an Alabama fan, which game did Bryce Young, the one that didn't count or the one that won the national championship?
You got me that. Hey, you got it. Hey, I'm just saying. I know what you're saying. And even then, he didn't play a terrible game there neither.
Yes, they scored one touchdown, bro.
Which game you talking about?
The second game. They scored.
Okay. Oh, I'm thinking about the first game. Okay.
Oh no, we ain't worried about that because that don't count.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just saying. But the point I'm trying to make is those guys have done well against top competition.
You're right.
So, and I'm not trying to discredit Ritter, but that's what we don't think that, because I don't think that either, but that's how they are thinking. That's how the media is thinking.
Yeah, but think about this too, Armani. What if they get to the NFL, get into a system that doesn't fit their skill set?
Hello.
And then the narrative will change. See, that's the thing about the media. The narrative always continues to change. It'll always change. Y'all know how it is. you know how it flip flops. You know, the media will always, what have you done for me recently?
Yeah.
And we haven't seen enough from Ritter to say he's going to be better than Bryce Young. He's going to be better than CJ Stroud. And we haven't seen CJ Stroud or Bryce Young to say, realistically, to say they're going to be better than Ritter on the NFL level. We're just basing everything off of what they did in the past. And if I'm judging what was done in the past, CJ Stroud and Bryce Young are miles ahead of Ritter. I'm sorry. That's just what it is.
But it's the talent. It's the talent what they're going to put around them, though.
I agree with that. But I'm saying how everybody else is also thinking. If I'm just a guy on the outside looking in, Stroud and Bryce Young, right? They're miles ahead of Ritter.
So let me take a quick poll of y'all here. Let me take a quick poll, and I'm just gonna ask the question. Don't talk. Just raise your hand. How many honestly feel right now today, and take the systems out of it, whatever. I'm saying as a quarterback. Would you rather have Bryce Young or Desmond Ritter? I'm asking objectively. Ritter, we're going to root for. But as a quarterback, would you rather have Bryce Young or Desmond Ritter? I'm going to say Bryce Young. If y'all say Bryce Young, raise your hand. If you say Desmond Ritter, raise your hand. I see 2 abstains up there, unless Lowe's thing has frozen. Oh yeah. I think you froze.
No, I'm letting you know I had froze. I let you know. I let you know I wasn't froze. Nah, it's like I can't say because I ain't seen. Yeah, I can't say.
Oh no, that's fair. That's fair. So I'll go to the next one. I'm just.
And I'm not just saying Bryce Young because I'm Roll Tide. I'm not.
No. We're being honest. And again, take the systems out of it and just say which quarterback. Would you rather have CJ Stroud or Desmond Ritter? Now, if you want to have CJ Stroud, raise your hand. That's fair.
Berto down there getting
Desmond Ritter to be Desmond Ritter. Again, another abstain. So that's straight down the line. So the only reason I'm asking those questions, folks, because again, the question is national perception. The question is not whether all of us want Desmond Ritter to win. Got to take that out of the equation. We all want Desmond to shock the world. We get that. Nobody's debating that. But the national perception is, and Armani stuck on it, and I'm sorry, folks, it is what it is. CJ Stroud came within inches of upsetting Georgia in the national championship game, not because he's a scrub, because he's an extremely talented quarterback. Bryce Young won the Heisman one year, probably should have done better in the national championship game the first time. He had a really good statistical year this past season, but he couldn't get past the big games. Desmond Ritter is a 3rd-round pick from an AAC conference. And I think that perception, no matter how we want to spin it, we can say he's grown up and he's doing all of this. I get it. But it doesn't change the fact that the perception is that Ritter isn't that guy. Wallace puts up something real cool. I would rather have Ritter and not just because he's a Falcon fan. That's cool. Again, I think there are some that might say that, but I really feel like we're not, being honest with ourselves. I want Ritter to succeed, but let's not pretend like we got a diamond in the rough last year when that's all we had.
We had no choice.
That's all we got.
Now,
go ahead, John.
I want to say this. I don't keep up and don't watch college unless it's just Georgia. Okay, I'll watch a Georgia Bulldog game or something that's on, I don't.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Lyric, if Bryce Young, if Ritter outshines Bryce Young, I will come on here personally and say that he did so. I'm not afraid to be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong.
And let me tell you something, Kiki. I actually think we're gonna make Bryce Young.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I think Bryce Young, that's his
first game.
That's his first game. And he's gonna be in here. So I agree with you 100%. I think we are gonna have him looking.
I think so too.
Week 1. But I also let's go back one more time. Wallace says, but people forget that Mahomes played one game in his rookie year and had 0 touchdowns. Nobody forgot about that. No, nobody forgot about that.
But that only start that he did have, he had well over 300-yard pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Ritter and did Ritter have Did he have 200 yards that game against Tampa?
Yeah.
He did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But
he had 2 TDs.
I know he had 2. Yeah, he did have 2
TDs. For 2 TDs. But going back to my point before these people got y'all fired up, man, I didn't even know I was here, man.
Well, because you were talking about Georgia, and I was trying to get on the point. So go ahead and do it.
I understand. Cause see, and you know what? That just made my point for me.
Okay.
When y'all saw those words pop up there on that screen, bam, y'all went dead at him because of what you saw. What you guys saw out of people in college versus me not looking at college, you based a lot of what your potential thought on that person was on what you saw that person do. You saw how that person performed in college. Now, that automatically doesn't always translate in the NFL. Why some Heisman Trophy winners,
not always.
You got Heisman Trophy winners, and see now winning the Heisman Trophy supposedly, in a lot of people's minds, is supposed to translate into what that person is going to do in the NFL, which is not necessarily true. It's been proven false for a long time.
Absolutely.
Okay, very well.
So you just took the long way around 285 to prove my point. I said perception. I didn't say that was going to happen. That's the whole basis of the argument. What the perception is. I can't help that you can't attain college games on your direct TV. I'm trying to tell you that
hold on.
People have seen these games and are going to make a perception. There's a reason Trevor Lawrence comes out number 1 overall. There was a reason at the time Baker Mayfield was number 1 overall. There's a reason Mike Vick was number 1 overall. It wasn't because people. So my thing is, you don't know. No, we don't. Because if that was the case, everybody who wants to come out and try to pretend like when Tom Brady was picked in the 6th round, he was going to be the greatest quarterback of all time, you're lying. The perception was Tom Brady was going to sit on the sideline.
He said it.
I want to tell you something, though.
When we keep acting like, I'm with you, Lo. Hold on one second. What I'm saying is the perception outside, what is it that's going to change that perception? What will change that perception? You know what would have changed the perception if Ritter would have come into this season? If Ritter would have found a way to beat New Orleans, not his fault. If he would have found a way to beat the Ravens, not totally his fault. Then you would have a better thing. Say, well, dude, they did that with scraps, and Ritter went 4-0. Okay, I'm gonna go into the season, and now I think they're gonna be good. But we can't sit here as we always do. And in 2018, we're gonna be better. 2019, we're gonna be better. Matt Ryan getting old, Julio's toes going down. We're gonna be better. We can't keep doing that. That's my only thing. I'm all for the great hope and love and the divine, all of the great internal things that the Falcons fans base are thinking. I'm one of you, but I'm not, as Armani said, I have my blinders off.
Yep.
I see what
the fan
other
base is scared of reality.
See it.
That's what it is.
That's
hey,
about perception.
Hey, Steve, How long?
Hold on. I cut low.
Have you
I
been
cut low
off the
John.
Kool-Aid?
I cut low off. Go ahead, low.
Uncle Steve, and I apologize. I didn't mean
No,
to interrupt you because that was very passionate. But I just wanted to let you know that look, you might just want to calm down when you talking to Mr. John because judging by that shirt, it looked like he been working out. So you might want to. Mr. John looking like he been doing the bicep curls over there.
Yeah.
So just calm down a little bit.
In Bone Crusher verse chapter 1 verse 2, I ain't never scared.
Oh damn!
He can bring his t-shirt, his blank wall, his bald head, and come over here.
But you know what though? I think as fans, we're gonna be fans, and everybody can fan how they want to fan. But I think the matter of the truth is that a lot of people are afraid of the reality of what could come. Because in reality, I mean, on paper, it looks great, but we don't know until it comes to fruition. And in reality, if we going by what the stats and what history shows and all this other stuff, Desmond Ritter, I'm gonna be honest, third round
money.
They have the success rate isn't as big as everybody think it is, but then it's not as bad as everybody think it is either. So we have to let it play out. You gotta give fans like me and Uncle Steve time to be like, okay,
and that's why
first. Let's see.
That's it. That's exactly why I said they shouldn't be ranked ahead of him because we haven't seen what they've done. If we going by college number, Desmond Ritter threw over 100 touchdown passes, 44 wins, third most in college history. You look at Brock Purdy, the last pick in the draft last year, ended up starting with San Francisco. Steve McNair, HBCU school at Alcorn State. So how can you base something off of what they really did in college?
My question is also, is that an anomaly or is that the consistent reality?
Woo!
Is that the anomaly or is that the consistent reality? Because the consistent reality, if we really want to go there, first and second round quarterbacks are the consistent reality.
Are the consistent reality for what?
As far any type, success.
No.
Okay.
But see, I just gave you a reason why that's not true. Them quarterbacks I just named were third round and further back.
I mean, let's go back and look at it. Like, let's go back and look at the Super Bowl winners, or let's go back and look at the quarterbacks that made deep playoff runs, or the guys who are just the top guys now. It's like if we go back and look at it, Tom Brady, of course, that we could say that's an anomaly, but I mean, those top 10 guys that everybody just gets naked about, like how often do they actually do it? You go back, you look at the Baker Mayfields and the Jamarcus Russells and Tim Tebow's, and the list goes on and on. I mean, we could legit get naked for a guy that's drafted in the first and second round if we want to. Meanwhile, you got guys like your Brad Johnsons, you got guys like your Trent Dilfers, who win Super Bowls. You got guys like you got multiple guys who legit make deep playoff runs. It's all about the situation that you're in. Football is just like life. Right. The circumstances determine how successful you are.
Right.
Well,
that's what I alluded to earlier.
No, I'm just saying. Oh, my bad. I ain't gonna cut you off.
No, you good. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, but when you draft a quarterback, first and second round, you kind of, I'm not gonna say expect them, but when you put all your marbles in on somebody, when you draft them first, second round, kind of. I mean, if I'm wrong, y'all let me know.
No, you're not. Keep preaching.
You push all the chips in for a first round pick versus a mid-third round, fourth round, later round picks. You don't put as much stock in them. You just like, okay, if it happens, it happens. Great. We're going to look like geniuses. As, did Seattle with Russell Wilson and so on and so forth. But when you draft a quarterback 1 through 10 first, I'm gonna say first round, because second round, usually the first round, you're putting all your chips into that quarterback into being successful. Especially now with the past drafts, Herbert, Mahomes, even I think Lamar was first round, wasn't he?
Last 31st, 32nd.
Late first round, but he was first round.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I want fans to understand also is that when you have that much invested in a player, it's like you have. I'm not gonna say the tolerance for error is a lot more higher than a third round pick. I'm gonna just be honest.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
The tolerance is a lot more higher because I got so much invested in them. Now, when you get to the third round pick quarterback, like we have in Ritter, now time is crunching, and I think Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot have I'm not gonna say back themselves into a corner, but I will say that instead of taking a quarterback and they took pass catchers, if this goes wrong, I don't want to hear the obvious. Oh well, we should have took a quarterback. I'm just saying we have to look at the reality of things. That's all I'm saying.
I think. Oh, I'm sorry.
Point. Excuse me, Armani. Now, see, this is where I was going with this situation. The national media, they're nothing more than a bunch of hot take Harry.
That's what they are.
The hottest take they grab. The shiniest object in the room, they going at. Okay? The one that provides the most flash, that's who they're reporting on. We are in a rebuilding mode. We are not on the radar because as Steve and was talking about, one in the 2 and 13 versus the 7 and 10. They're both losing records. Nobody's going to be you. Nobody's going to be writing about you. Nobody's going to be sending a whole crew of NFL Today down to your training camp or any place to report on you because they have no mess. They have no doggone. You don't have to at all. All right.
Yeah.
Now, not Abraham Lincoln.
Hold on 1 second, John, because every time you say now, I know it's going to be 2 minutes after. Hold on 1 second. Mm-hmm. Kiki brought up some good points. She said Zach Wilson was a first round, and now he's being replaced with Abraham Lincoln. Raven says Marcus Mariota was a first round pick.
Hello.
And Kiki also reminds us Jameis Winston. What round was Jameis Winston taken in? First overall.
Right before Mariota.
So
right.
What I want to do, and hold on, let me give one quick shout out to our brother Crown. I haven't seen Kibo in a while. Crown One podcast. Y'all make sure y'all tap my brother out. Say, what's up, fellas? Don't forget this offense isn't necessarily built to be solely dependent on Ritter. He doesn't need to be prolific at this time. And I'm not specifically. I mean, I know we've been mentioning Ritter a lot because he's the quarterback of the team, so he should be mentioned a lot. I don't think this team is going to be 100% reliant on Ritter, but he has to be efficient. I want to run through something real quick, and I need one of y'all to keep count for me, okay? And this is just hypothetical, and I'm just starting it up. So as I go through a quarterback, I want y'all to tell me whether they were first round, okay? Buffalo.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, 1. Okay. Miami, Tua.
Yeah, Tua.
Yep.
Keep up with me, 2, right? New England, Matt Jones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
First
3.
round.
The Jets right
First
now.
round. Oh,
Aaron Rodgers.
first
Nope.
round.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yes.
First
Aaron
Yep.
Rodgers.
Number pick
First round.
24.
You picked
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers
24.
taken in the first round
He
Yeah.
was the
Pick
last
24.
one. He was the last one in the room.
in the green room.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Cincinnati.
First.
Joe Burrow.
Definitely. Yeah.
What are we up to?
5.
Okay.
Right.
Baltimore.
5.
Lamar Jackson.
First.
Bottom of the first.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett.
First.
Cleveland. Deshaun Watson.
First.
Hey. So where are we?
8.
What number we on?
We got 8.
8.
Okay. Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence.
First.
First.
Nah.
Tennessee, Ryan Tannehill.
First round.
That was
Indianapolis, about to be Anthony Richardson.
First round.
Houston, about to be CJ Stroud.
First round.
Okay, what number we up to?
12.
12.
Okay. Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes.
First round.
LA Chargers, Herbert.
First round.
First
round.
Las Vegas Raiders, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Was he first round?
No, he was
Second round?
second round pick.
Okay,
Yeah, second round.
Okay.
By New England.
Denver, Russell Wilson. We know he was
Third.
Third round.
Where are we now?
14.
We're still at 15.
14.
Okay, 15.
14. It was 14.
15.
There's two of those. Two of the 16.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to
14
Philly.
too.
Jalen Hurts. Second
What's
round.
the second round?
Second round.
Okay. Dak Prescott.
Third round.
Fourth round.
Fourth
Fourth
round.
Oh, fourth round. Okay.
round. Daniel Jones.
First round.
Okay.
That's number 15.
And Washington, who I don't even know who is
Commanders.
Yeah,
Sam Howell was
Sam
first
Howell.
round.
Sam
so
Howell.
Okay, so we know he wasn't.
He
What are
was
we
a
up?
day 3 pick.
What are we up?
Still on
Sam
15.
Howell's a day 3 pick. Okay. I'm sorry.
What are we?
17, right?
17?
Yeah, we
We
it's
at
15.
we on 15.
It's 15 to 2.
Oh, okay.
15 too. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. Minnesota, Kirk Cousins.
Third round, second round,
Fourth round.
fourth round.
Fourth round.
Detroit, Jared Goff.
First round.
First overall pick.
Jordan Love.
First
round. Justin Fields.
First round.
Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield.
First
overall pick.
Carolina, Bryce Young.
number 1.
First over. Yeah.
New Orleans, Derek Carr.
He was
Second round pick.
Was he second?
He was
top of
second?
the second. Top
was
of the
first.
second.
Damn.
Really?
Top of the second.
Top of the second. Okay. All right. Desmond Ritter, we already know. San Francisco, Brock Purdy. I'm not going to give Lance.
7th round pick.
Purdy is Mr. Irrelevant. Seattle, Geno Smith, second round.
Second round.
Second round. Yeah.
LA Rams, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
First
Number
round.
1.
First round.
And last but not least, Kyler Murray, Arizona.
First round.
First round.
So, with our very quick scientific thing, how many quarterbacks were first round?
27-5.
27. So we go 27 into 2 equal. Shut up, y'all.
Pencil down. Put that pencil down. Look, you can hide the list by computer, but
Okay, hold on. 84% of the quarterbacks we said were first round picks. So again, we're not saying the anomalies of the Steve McNairs, the Tom Brady's, the Russell Wilsons. We're not saying they can't work. What I'm saying is the chances are less the lower you were picked. None of those quarterbacks. Matter of fact, you know what? I'll even take it one step further. Let's do this hypothetically. Let's go to the playoff teams last year.
Okay.
Y'all keep up with me. Buffalo.
First round.
First round, right? Miami.
First round.
First round.
Okay. Cincinnati.
First round.
Jacksonville.
First round.
First.
Kansas City.
First round.
First.
Chargers.
First round.
First.
First round.
We 7 for 7 in the AFC. Let's go to the NFC. Philadelphia.
Second round pick.
Okay. So we can't count them. Dallas.
4th round pick.
Fourth round. Giants.
First.
Minnesota. Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
Who made it out of our division last year? Oh, Tampa Bay.
Nope.
Baker Mayfield. No.
No, but last year for the playoffs.
Last year, yeah,
Tom
Brady,
Brady,
yeah.
so he doesn't count.
Nope.
San Francisco doesn't
Nope.
count. And Seattle doesn't count. So
only 2 quarterbacks.
Let's put that in. So it's easy for the AFC. The AFC went 100%. The NFC was 2 for 7. What conference do you think is the better conference right now?
The AFC. Easily, they got the better quarterbacks.
And so again, it's not irony that all those quarterbacks, the perception of them being the first round pick, panned through. I'm not trying to say Desmond Ritter can't break the mold. I'm not trying to say that all of those picks, like I said, the Russell Wilsons and the Tom Brady's and the folks like that can't come through in the clutch, but the chances are so much less. So that's why I tend to go with I see why the national media doesn't have a great response to saying, hey, Desmond Ritter's going to be the starting quarterback next year.
Are you resting your case?
It depends on what you're going to say.
No, I was gonna hit the gavel because you made your case.
Yeah, I mean,
you made your case. And see, the thing is, too, you could tell it in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Quality of the games on the NFC side and the AFC side, who had the better quarterbacks? Okay, whose quarterback were getting the training or whatever? And see, that's one of the reasons why I was all mad and fired up about what was going on with our quarterback. The man down by law just from where you drafted him at. He already down by law. All right, you're not helping by not training him. You know, you go and get a Mr. Irrelevant. San Francisco goes and gets Mr. Irrelevant, and he helps them win 11 freaking games out there.
But look at the coach. Look at the coach, Mr.
Jones.
That's my point.
Yeah,
Genius.
that's my
point. Genius.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's not the reality. That's not the consistency. You know what I mean? That's not the normal. That's not the normal.
But you got your 3rd round draft pick, and you pumping him up, and everybody is trying to hang their hat. I mean, they trying their best to hang their hat on him. They trying their best to say, we gonna do it. We gonna get it done. But the facts are not with you. The facts
are John.
With you. I'm
John,
sorry.
That's why I keep saying Arthur Smith or bust. Because what he calls on that play sheet is going to determine really how Desmond really develop into this season.
And you know what? I'll say this too. That's why when the Ravens re-signed Lamar Jackson, I said the best thing that happened for Lamar Jackson this offseason was getting Georgia's offensive coordinator. And what is his name?
That's going to change.
Todd Monken.
That was the best thing that could happen to Lamar Jackson. Yeah. And y'all about to see, Lamar going to be, you know what I mean? Like, hey.
Yeah, because Greg Roman ran them high school draw plays. Nobody.
Yeah.
He gonna save his career. He might save 2 years off his career.
And that's not that's not to downplay what fans are saying, you know, about first round picks. We're just giving you what's been consistent, especially as of lately. We have to go what's been consistent as of lately. I'm sorry. That's just what the reality is.
It's not a shot. Again, it's not a shot. I'm going in the chat because everybody's kind of talking about this. I don't want to ignore folks coming in. She's like, lyrics. Kiki says, hell, the last pick in the draft could have taken San Francisco to the Super Bowl if he didn't get hurt.
That's because he had you got the best play caller and the best defense.
But Brock
showed out.
Brock
got hurt.
I disagree a little bit. I don't think Trey Lance would have been able to do what Brock Purdy did. Do y'all think so? Y'all think Trey Lance would have been able to do what Brock Purdy did?
See,
apparently, Kyle Shanahan don't either.
With the
because wasn't Trey healthy?
Trey, no, wasn't he?
No, he was hurt.
He was hurt.
He was hurt.
He broke his
he broke his ankle.
He was hurt. But the mad scientist, I don't doubt him.
Okay.
He turned Matt Ryan into.
I don't trust him in the Super Bowl now.
All right, y'all. False Start says, so now with this exercise, you all are contradicting what you were saying a few months ago. you and the crew minus Big Low and Smitty were saying where Ritter is drafted doesn't matter. I don't remember that, but if I did say it, my bad. Okay, so let's go. Lisa says, I understand the logic behind thinking that a first-round quarterback has a higher probability of success in the NFL, but it's still a crapshoot. Later round quarterbacks have won Super Bowl too. Again, y'all keep feeding the wrong horse. I'm not telling you lower round quarterbacks don't win. I'm saying the probability is higher. If I had $4,000 and I was betting and somebody said I had a 75% chance, or what did we say? 82. If I had an 82% chance of winning, I'm going to bet on the 18% because I just want to throw it. No, I'm going to bet on what I think the percentages are. And again, we're talking perception. I get that. For every person that throws up the lower round quarterback, remember, Tom Brady has 7 of them. So let's not act like that percentage.
Yeah, so that's out the wonder.
Yeah, recently it's
Tom Brady
is skewed. It's skewed.
Yeah,
he is the anomaly. It's not the normal. We got to go on probability and not possibility.
Right. KLJ says, bring back the math to the ha. You know what? I took AP calculus in high school, and I took proud of my Kiki says, as a Clemson fan, though, I'm gonna be honest, and I think my boy Watson fell off too many happy. Come on. It's a family show, lyric.
Come on, man.
She said a lot of them first rounders were a little sus. But again, it's not about you're missing the spirit of what we're talking about. We're talking about perception. I'm not here to tell you every first rounder is going to pan out to be Hall of Famer, All-Pro, Pro Bowler. I'm saying the chances that people from the outside look. Why do you think they have Bryce Young over Desmond Ritter? Yes, Desmond Ritter came within a field goal of beating the Georgia team that finished 3rd in the SEC that year that they played him. Yes, Desmond Ritter took his team to the playoffs and got mollywopped by Alabama once they got there. I'm not here to tell you Desmond Ritter doesn't have some credentials, but it's a reason that all 32 NFL teams not only passed him once, not only passed him twice, but waited to the 3rd time. There's a reason. And we hope maybe we found something that we can pick up, shine up, take off, kind of dust it off and do what we got to do. I hope Arthur Smith, and if he does, Arthur Smith jumps into the Bill Belichick type of thing because he took somebody from. I know. I'm doing.
Come on, yeah.
Hypotheticals.
He jumps into the upper echelon of, dang, that's a pretty good coach. If he can do that, and Desmond Ritter.
That's a big difference. Pretty good coach and Bill Belichick.
He's talking in actualities, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
I'm over-exaggerating.
Well, piggybacking off of that.
Hold on 1 second. Before you do that, let me get my people in the chat real quick. Raymond says, now, you all do the best quarterbacks. Do the best quarterbacks of all time. Now, I ain't got time for all that. That's John.
Yeah, that's a little time consuming.
David says McNair went 3rd overall. Okay, 3rd overall. Oh, did he?
He might be right because he won.
Okay.
He was
so if he went
second
3rd overall, then my math say, without looking at the calculator, is 85%.
Use no calculator. It's your pencil.
What's up, Big Ray? How you doing? Slim Dollar said the facts are a first-round quarterback has a 58% chance to be a franchise quarterback. It only goes down from there. Very good point. He must have had a different calculator. Okay, Lisa says we can't fault Ritter because the team didn't draft him in the first round. That's on the organization. No. Again,
he didn't deserve to be drafted in the first round.
He was a first-round pick.
I'm sorry, Uncle Steve. Can I interject real quick?
Go ahead.
By his stats, he didn't deserve to be drafted in the first round. I'm sorry. He didn't. Coming out of college, he didn't deserve to be drafted in the first round. It's a reason, and not just us. Every NFL team passed up on him. Not one time, not two times until they got him in the third round. It's a reason for that. It's a reason that we have the draft. The best players coming out of college come first. Then you got everybody else second, third, fourth, fifth. I'm just saying.
Well, it's also needs too. It's also needs. It's also need based. You know, it's a lot of dynamic that goes into that. And I see you have the Super Bowl winners up here.
Ooh, this about to get interesting.
Yeah, So I got the list of Super Bowl winners like all time. So y'all can see Patrick Mahomes, one of the last one.
Right.
First round pick. Matthew Stafford, first round pick.
One,
Tom
two.
Brady.
Tom Brady gonna take 7, so we know that already.
Yeah. Then
But
Patrick
Sprinkle,
Mahomes.
Okay.
Tom Brady once again. So Nick Foles.
Okay.
That wasn't a first round pick. Then
Was
Tom
Nick
Brady.
Foles though? Hold on. Who's Nick Foles?
He wasn't taking the first
Philadelphia.
round.
Nick Foles might have been first
No,
round.
Nick Foles might have been a number 1
Nick
pick.
Foles might have been first round.
Yeah,
Let's Google it.
yeah. I think Nick Foles was number 1.
Nick Foles pick.
Let's see.
Drafted in the third round.
Third
Okay,
round.
third round. Okay, we'll give you that. Okay.
My bad. Okay.
And then
And
Tom
he
Brady.
He was back.
So
Let's
Peyton
also
Man.
let's also make sure we put an asterisk by Nick Foles. Nick Foles came in game number 14. He did the job, but you give him as much credit as you give Jeff Hostetler. Let's not pretend like he
Jeff
ran the
Hostetler,
game
Oda
on
Smith.
you. Go ahead.
So then you got Tom Brady again.
Peyton
Russell Wilson.
Okay, that's one.
Joe Flacco, that's a first round guy.
First round pick.
Hey, wait a minute. Y'all skipped over Peyton Manning.
Oh, okay,
No,
yeah.
he said it. He said
Okay, I did. Okay.
Peyton, first round pick.
Then after before Joe Flacco, Eli.
First round pick.
We don't want to talk about this one because we should have won this one.
Yeah, I know.
Drew, he went in the second round.
Yep.
Drew Brees was first pick of the second round.
First pick of the second round.
Big Ben, he went in the first round.
Big Ben went in the first round. Yep.
Eli went in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton, Ben, they both went in the first round.
First round.
Now, so one thing that we got to remember, so whenever we get up around this area, this is whenever football had changed. Well,
Right.
football was a little bit different then at this point.
Because it was more rounds.
Yeah. Well, no, not just more rounds, but they weren't airing the ball out like they are now.
They were running the football.
running
Running that
Yeah.
ball.
Because whenever Ben Roethlisberger won this Super Bowl, I think he only completed like 11 passes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Willie Parker ran the ball hard.
Willie Parker did his thing in that game.
You know why I brought that up low? Because Brad Johnson was a 9th round pick.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, nice round.
That's why I brought that up when you said that.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. So he's even more of an anomaly than Tom Brady.
So Tom, he won those, those 2 fluke Super Bowls. Earlier.
He won about 4 fluke Super Bowls.
Now that Brad Johnson Super Bowl was, you had the benefit of the former coach.
That's Tony Dungy Super Bowl.
Yeah, Tony Dungy, right.
You had the benefit of the former coach coaching him. They knew everything Oakland was going to do.
Oh yeah.
And Trent Dilfer got the Ray Lewis beside him. I mean, it's
True.
Yeah, that ain't even no discussion.
So again, I still feel like the spirit of what the question is still getting.
So it's being proven.
I think my point is valid, and I still think it's being proven.
It is valid.
Because I'm not telling y'all it can't happen. I'm telling you the perception is the chances are lower. If we want to be real specific, Drew Brees was a second rounder. And the first second rounder, what was Desmond? 80 what?
84th?
4? Something like that?
Yeah,
I'm still, that's still something that's kind of weird. I go back here. False Start said the NFC just killed your argument. Actually, they boosted my argument.
Who won the Super Bowl?
Right. Not only who won the Super Bowl, let's not pretend like the NFC was chock full of real teams. There were two teams in the NFC that everybody thought was going to make it, and that's Philadelphia and San Francisco. Was there anybody else that we thought was going to be in the NFC Championship last year?
Nope.
Not a soul. There were people that thought, well, Tom Brady, but no. But the AFC was chock full of the top teams I would even go as far to say, if you had a list of the top 10 teams in the NFL, 7 of them would probably be from the AFC.
Absolutely.
Hey, ain't that crazy that Richard Dent was the MVP for that Bears 46?
Dude, he should have been. Local guy.
Man, he was all over the field.
Yeah,
man, boy, that's crazy.
He was the man.
Completely different time, right?
Wallace says, but a quarterback can only do. We not again, folks.
We're not knocking it. Wallace,
this is not about what we are. Everybody, and my argument wasn't about Ritter. Everybody else has turned it into Ritter. I said the perception of the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the reason the perception is because they have a quarterback that wasn't highly touted. And if you have somebody, and let's also not try to, let's keep it real. Did Ritter actually win this job? Or did we just kind of name him the quarterback?
We had to name him. I mean, honestly, if we being real, we had to name him the
man standing. It was
all we had.
I mean, let's keep listen, y'all.
Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck.
It's Sunday. Y'all better tell the truth up in here. Tell the truth.
I'm gonna tell.
Let's keep it real, because the Falcons didn't go out. They could have worked their way up to the top and maybe got one of those 3 quarterbacks if they wanted to. But you know what the Falcons said? Nope, we good.
They doubled down.
Our guy. And Desmond was their guy. Was Desmond their guy because of competition? No. Desmond was their guy because a trader left town.
Wow.
And there was nobody else to bring in here. We brought, look, judging by what I saw at OTAs, they might not want to let Heineken throw a lot.
And you know what? If Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot are willing to get fired on that field, on that hill, let them get fired.
Yeah.
So many opportunities.
In 2021, at pick number 4, you decided to get a Brady.
There you go. You decided to get.
I knew it was coming. I knew somebody was going to say it.
I've been Nicole's favorite player, Kyle Pitts.
Holding it. Because thing is, you've been trying, every move that they have made since 2021 has been trying to cover up for the fact that you did not use your 4th pick that was given to you with no strings attached, no draft picks given up, no money given up to pick a tight end, and you try to pump him up too. But you can't do nothing unless you got a quarterback.
But we got to remember the situation they were in, though.
What's about to happen? They about to come for you. So
Slim Dollar comes in and said, hold on, fellas, for 1 second. Arthur Smith says Arthur Smith is either going to be a genius or a bust at the end of this season.
Yep.
Because he has 2 7-10 seasons, and he's banking his job and career off of a 3rd-round quarterback. Can you say no pressure? Again, folks,
that's a lot of pressure. I'm gonna be honest. That's a lot of pressure,
dude. He is now. That's the one thing that I'll agree. I agree with the decision. Listen, I was one of the first ones in line to say, sign me up for Lamar. Give him a blank check.
Hey, we talked about it for a couple months.
Absolutely. But
you got kind of naked, huh?
It was a smart move to do what they did.
It was a family show. You got us banned for a couple of weeks.
I did get us banned a couple of weeks. But you know what? You know what it is, though? You know what it is, Bitlow? When you lose in 5 years in a row and you see things going south, you want to get it fixed quick. And I'm guilty. I'm that Falcon. I'm that long, miserable Falcon fan that's been waiting and waiting and waiting, and I wanted it fixed quick. I'm a man enough to say, Wrong move. What Terry did was excellent. Filled in those gaps on defense. Smart move. Boosted up the stuff on the defensive line. Brought in coaches that they know that can coach these guys on team, and that's cool. But as my man says right here, off of a third-round quarterback, that's not a shot. That's facts.
Well,
The fact is he got drafted in the third round. And if he was that much greater, Arnold Ebiketie wouldn't have been picked in the second. Matter of fact, we had 2 chances to pick him in the second round.
Yeah,
if memory serves me, right?
Yeah.
So if he was all that low,
we passed him up 3 times.
Well, I think the thing that we all got to keep in mind is that I don't feel like the whole plan is complete yet. Because referring back to what Mr. John was saying about taking that tight end, with that 4th overall pick, you got to remember where we came from.
That's all we're saying, Lisa.
Yeah. So it's one of those situations where it's like we were trying to rebuild that team. If you take a quarterback that high and, you compare his contract to a tight end contract, you're not going to be able to. We've been getting tired of going to the bench and not being able to get no sacks.
Hold up, Lo. You paid your tight end first pick quarterback money.
He ain't getting no quarterback money. He got first pick tight end money.
Yes, no.
What's his contract?
$2 million. He's
$32 million
of a quarterback.
Ooh, yeah.
Wait a minute. Because a starting quarterback, take first over. I mean, in the 4th overall in the first round. I think they made more than that, Mr.
The
Jones.
price is already sliding.
I thought the same thing, but take a look at it. And I'm gonna look that up. I did an extensive show when we went to Spot Track. Since Steve showed me how to work Spot Track, I went and looked at it. He was within $2 million of the court of Young, as a matter of fact.
Wow, that's crazy.
See, so that's why I was raising so much saying about you sitting up here picking a tight end that high. You paying this man quarterback money.
But
and then the next year turn around and draft Drake London, and everybody was so upset.
But look at what they needed at the time. Julio gone. We need another weapon.
Calvin
in the field
was gambling.
Right.
Yeah, I get
so
that.
you look at what was going on, and now that I look at it, I feel like Terry is building the same type of nucleus like he had in New Orleans.
That's a good point.
He got a quarterback that can extend plays, decent arm, all-pro tight end like they had with Jimmy Graham, Marcus Colston, all those guys. And then you look at Drake London and Bijan Robinson, who's Alvin Kamara-esque. So they're just building the same type system. That's all.
Now, Smitty, they had the luxury of having Drew Brees with about 7/10 of the tread still left on the tie.
Oh yeah.
See, they already had a Drew Brees there, so you were looking for backups and heir apparents down there in New Orleans while you were doing that. We needed somebody because you remember the big fuss was, well, I ain't gonna pay no quarterback just to sit on the bench and draft him that high. But you needed to do so because Matt Ryan, now he might have had some tread on the outside where you could see it, but on the inside, you needed a field alignment because I saw coals. I can see the ad and the tie there.
You ride on that rim.
That's what I'm talking about. And Matt Ryan, look, the air you saw ain't the air that was in the tie.
Hell Rail is worried about our health. He said, "Who breathing like that?" I don't know who he's talking about.
No,
Anthony Moss, we need to probably put you on the medicine list. He said John is right. So anytime we cite somebody that agree with John, we're gonna put a little asterisk right here by his name.
That thunderstorm gonna roll through.
You gonna need them.
Kiki says a quarterback doesn't have to be elite. A serviceable quarterback can get you to the Super Bowl. Just saying, no, you're
absolutely.
Folks,
I agree with that.
I agree.
I agree with that.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is not saying again. The key thing here was perception. There is nothing factual that tells you that Bryce Young, because he was the number 1 pick, is going to be the best quarterback of all time. No different than you could say about Cam Newton. No different than you could say about Baker Mayfield. I'm not here to tell you that. What I'm here to tell you that is the perception that you got somebody that every other team in the NFL said, you know what? He's the best. He's the best pick. The first 32 guys that were picked are more talented than the guy I got at 84. The second 32 guys were picked are more talented than the guy at 84. So again, I'm not here to debate whether Ritter can do it. I hope he does. I'm trying, and I got to go back to Brother Amani. Just take these off and just look at the whole picture.
Yeah.
And the whole picture is saying there are. You know what's bothered me the most, Smitty? And I'm just keeping it real, Smitty. This is what bothered me the most. Everyone has the scenario of him being that guy, of being the super guy. He's going to prove us wrong. He's going to prove us wrong. I get that. And I'm with it. What happens if we're 3-5 and he's not doing it?
Tyler Heineke.
Tyler Heineke time.
Tyler Heineke will be the quarterback.
And then you use that draft capital that you got to move up to get a top round guy
next year.
Now that you built your team up.
Going back to the grocery store. You going back to the store.
I'm just, John, I'm pretty sure your mom used to send you back to the grocery store 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, because I was stealing.
But at that point, if we have a losing season next year, I am most for certain that Arthur Smith won't be here. I'm almost this for certain that he won't be here if we have another losing season. And Terry will be here.
Will that be fair, Armani?
That's fair. You had so many. I don't want to hear the excuse. Oh, we need a quarterback. Ritter didn't work out. You should have got him when you had the 4th overall pick. You should have traded up when you had the 8th overall pick and the 7th overall pick, but you chose to draft pass catchers and running backs. I don't want to hear it. At that point, let Terry Fontenot go find his own head coach.
That's rolling them bones.
Let's be real. If we being real about the situation,
Armani, I'm gonna stick to what I said.
Terry Fontenot didn't hire Arthur Smith, and I'm just being for real. He didn't hire him.
Give me, what did you say, Armani? If let me make sure I'm saying this. If Arthur doesn't make the playoffs, or if he has a losing record. I'll even go out on a limb and say if he don't make the playoffs, he's probably I'll say this: if he has a losing record, he's fired. But if he goes out and doesn't make the playoffs but has a winning record, his seat will be very, 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 very high. I'm gonna go around and ask all of y'all real quick.
Godzilla Blue Fire.
Because I do feel like, and I don't know why I feel this way, but I do. I think he's gonna be allowed one more year. I'm gonna tell you why. He was told to put something workable on the field for the last 2 years. Even though we were 7-10, and I'm not here trying to pump it up or make it whatever. Do y'all think we overachieved the last 2 years?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Do y'all think we did? I agree. And I know why you saying it, John. So I'm gonna get to you.
Top 10 pick.
But yeah, I'm not saying I'm satisfied. I'm saying we overachieved with the roster we had.
Yeah.
I'll even say
fair.
this.
That's fair.
I think 2021 with a veteran quarterback, you should have been better with Matt Ryan in 21 than you should have been last year. There was a reason why people say that we should have gone 2-15. You brought Marcus Mariota in here, a guy who was literally on the bench, and named him your starter before the first preseason game. There was no competition. So you brought him in and told him he's going to be the number one guy. So you can't tell me you had dreams of lollipops and candy canes and you were going to win with Mariota. So for what he did for the last 2 years, I think he's built up enough equity to go into year 4. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you if he's 4-13, he should stick around.
Oh, he's gone. He's definitely going.
But if he's in that 8-9 or 9-8, just missed the playoffs kind of thing, and Ritter doesn't, screw the pooch.
But
Uncle
Steve,
I think you give him a
Steve,
shot.
let's be real. Let's be real. With less talent in the last 2 years, and he has more talent this year, and he only wins one more game or around the same, why should he stay around? Because if you coaching less talent to more wins, why doesn't that equate to more talent, more wins? He should have at the least 10 wins this year, to me. 10 wins or bust. That's simple.
I got you.
And that's all we saying.
Lo, what you think, Lo?
I think that last year they gave Arthur Smith 6 packs of ramen noodles and some ketchup and asked him to make spaghetti.
Nah, ketchup too expensive. Hot sauce.
Sauce.
Hey, some people's houses, daddy is spaghetti.
Exactly. So I feel like moving forward, depending on because it's like, think about it. It could be a situation where everybody gets injured, or the losses are beyond his control. Like if he goes 7-10 again, I think he'll still get a chance.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we can all sit here and kind of and this is why we love to do this, but Arthur Smith, because we can kind of agree that Arthur Smith made some questionable play calls last year. We sitting there like,
oh man, don't start that because
I'm just being for real.
I said the same thing, but I got cussed out too.
And I'm just like,
I definitely agree with that.
I'm like, Coach, why?
Smitty said that all year last year about his Smitty has gone through 3 mics and he's been saying the same thing.
And you know what? My argument is, I said Arthur Smith. At this point, give the OC the play call sheet because you don't know what you're doing.
No. Yeah, he's the OC.
That's true.
He's the OC. This is his offense. They keep talking that stuff about Ragone being the offensive coordinator. Ragone ain't called a pig.
If you calling the plays, I agree with John 100%. If you calling the play, dang, what is going on today? I'm agreeing with John.
I keep telling y'all, he a clipboard holder that order fries and burgers.
Right. Absolutely.
How many times did we see last year? The first play of the game?
This is Arthur Smith's offense. And if you look at Tennessee right now,
it's kind of vanilla.
If you look at Tennessee right now, especially with your former fake quarterback coach going back up there, that's Arthur Smith's offense still up there in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. That's Arthur Smith's offense. What we run is Arthur Smith's offense. So Dave Ragone and all that type of stuff, everybody was talking about, well, he's offensive coordinator. Where was he? He was sitting right beside Matt Ryan the first year and right beside Mariota last year on the bench. Now, what the offensive coordinator doing down on the doggone field?
I ain't gonna lie to you. How many times did we see them run that bubble screen to the tight end to the odd side the first play of the game?
Man, if I see that play one more time.
How many times did we see that? Like, I know at least 6 times. At least. It's like I could call it.
Hey, Big Low, it was the same amount that we were trying to run that bubble screen to Julio.
Or the toss play with Coach Sarkisian when he was there, and we like, how many times you gonna call a toss on one series? I remember one time he called it 3 straight times. I'm like, Coach, come on, man, like you. But
some coaches got their go-tos, man.
This is a great encapsulation right here. Lisa says Blank's patience is getting shorter the older he gets. This season is important for the Fontenot Smith regime. I agree 100%.
Blank's patience.
But I got a question.
Get somebody. Antonio said he's gonna go to rehab with me. He said, "Oh my God, I agree with John again. What the hell is going on?"
Man.
I told you, get some asterisks. Get a box full of asterisks, because you're going to need them. Because the truth hurts. The truth hurts. I mean, but Lo, you get ready to say something.
Go ahead, Lo.
No. I mean, so basically, it's just one of those cases where I completely agree with y'all about the play calling. It's like, I mean, look, if I could get Arthur Smith's play calling and put it in a bottle, I can make a really nice pound cake for you, because it is so vanilla.
No
It is so
toppings,
vanilla.
no ice cream on the side.
I mean, straight pound cake.
It might not have no sugar in it.
Not even no glaze.
Hey, you just dip a spoon in it, blap, put it on.
And Lisa makes a great point, and I said it again. Arthur Smith will be gone before Terry will be gone, because Terry can be like, well, y'all hired this dude. We came in as a package deal. How about this? Y'all sit back and relax. Let me go find my own coach.
That's what they should have did from the jump.
And that's what you always
I
hired.
said that years ago.
Why do the Falcons always deviate of what is supposed to be done? You hired a GM, and then you let your GM go and hire his head coach.
Hey, Armani, I'm going to give you the answer to that. You, as an owner, and I always go back to this, New York Giants, Wellington Mara, hired George Young.
Okay, hold on.
George,
hold.
Get me
Wait. John. What year you going to?
I'm going back in the 80s.
Okay, hold on. All right. Lyrics Mom says we're gonna go 10-7, and I'm throwing my draws in the bins. Let's go. I wanted to make sure that the disclaimer being made was so.
I thought it was a family show.
So Lyric, look,
the Manson family
has thrown it off.
Man,
I don't even know what to say to that.
No comment. No, let's just move on.
Lisa said we all gonna need therapy if our season doesn't go well. Ray Ellison says, John, you out here working roots. Everybody agreeing with you today. I may need to see my VA rep after today. Hell Rail says he's gonna be looking for them draws, Kiki.
Oh,
so make sure look, here on Uncle Steve's Lounge, we about relationships. So if y'all build something together,
okay, over the top like that. But like I said, hold
on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me get. Lisa says, Desbiana Bates serious about her draws. She is throwing them. She says, Jack Daniels is my therapy. So we got
can't argue with you, baby. Can't argue with you.
We can't. Listen, fellas, because I just looked up and didn't realize what time it was. My thought was to go till 7:00, but again, that's why I was trying to stop you, John, because I was getting ready to hold up and wrap this up, because we've been on here 2.5 hours. So I did not mean to do that, but again, when it's great conversation, I love when it's going in that direction, but I see some of us with a lot of gray hair on, or some with no hair, and we need to get our rest. Let me go around the room and make sure everybody gets their very last 30-second to 60-second thought, John. And we're gonna start with you, bro. Yes, I'm editing you.
Oh, hey, I've been in worse clubs than this before. At any rate, I've been thrown out of better. But at any rate, I'm going to say this.
No sleeves, no service.
Hey. On the side of the dirt road with the screen door. But what I was going to say, and I'm going to wrap it up right here. Look. When Wellington Mara hired George Young, he tasked him with bringing a Super Bowl within 5 years, and he got out the way. You got a Rich McKay up here that's supposed to be president of this team.
Hey, man, I've been saying cut that snake off for years.
Yeah, Me too. That's the thing. Rich McKay's job as president is supposed to be hiring and firing GMs. And
I don't like his new glasses.
Okay, that's supposed to be his job. Now, if he's not going to do it, hey, I don't know what to tell you, because, see, this is a result. This, what you're seeing now, this, what you've been seeing for the past few years, is a result of the owner stepping away and letting people handle it, and him firing them when they don't bring him what it is that he's supposed to be getting. I'm gone.
Right.
But that's what he's supposed to do, though, right? If you're not doing the job, then you're supposed to, Rich McKay.
But
Rich McKay gets a bad rap too for all of this stuff. Rich McKay handled the money, man. Rich McKay over there, he was doing the Mercedes Benz for the last 5, 6
August
years.
Yeah. Answer this. Yeah. I understand with the financing part.
Right.
But didn't he build a Super Bowl team in Tampa Bay with certain type players? We talk about dog mentality. A lot of those players they drafted in the mid-90s to early 2000s had that type mentality. They started with Derrick Brooks and Warren Sapp in 95.
And the payoff was supposed to be 16, and it didn't happen. Tampa Bay, how many did they go? 3 in a row in the NFC Championship game, and before they finally broke through? The payoff was supposed to be 2016. We would be happy. Remember, Rich McKay got elevated when Thomas Dimitroff got here.
No, I'm saying when he was in Tampa. I'm talking about when Rich McKay was in Tampa. Yeah, go ahead.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
He did that with Tampa. He got hired from Tampa to come here. He started off with Arthur Blank. He moved up to a certain point right to 08. They hired Thomas Dimitroff. Rich wasn't fired. He was elevated and still had a hand in what was going on with the team from 08 to 2012, the formative years. Would you agree?
No.
For 4 out of 5 of y'all, the formative years where we had 5 winning years in a row, which we have. Stop.
He was a wine taster.
We had 5 winning years in a row. Stop debating just to debate.
No.
He was the formative years of the Falcons franchise
and car
2008 to 2012, and in those years, that's when Rich McKay had his fingerprints on what the team was doing. 2016 was supposed to be the payoff, and it wasn't. So now he looks pretty bad. In 2017. He went to the Mercedes-Benz project and started working with that. It was all about Thomas Dimitroff then. So I just think he gets a bad rep. Go ahead, Smitty.
No, you good. That's all I was saying. Yeah, that's all I was saying.
I got
Rick McKay ain't did nothing.
I'll say my closing remarks, man.
You the man, brother.
Listen, fans, I get it. We all in on Ritter. We all in on the team as we should be as the season is coming closer to into fruition. But let's just calm down for a minute. I know we all excited, but we have to see those guys got to prove to us that we can be that team. They got to prove it not only to the media, they got to prove it to us. Because I'm not just one of those fans. I don't care who on the team. I'm gonna have my say. I'm gonna have I invested in this team just like everybody. I'm gonna have my say. So you know what? Hopefully everything goes great. Desmond Ritter is that guy, and we go to the playoffs and we have our first playoff berth in a few years, and we finally get over that hump, a winning season and a playoff berth. But if we don't, again, I don't want to hear it about no excuses of why Arthur Smith should stay at all. Playoffs or bust. That's all I got to say.
I agree. I hear you, brother. And you said something pointing it there too. The fans, and I like the passion. I love it. And thank everybody in the chat, man, today. Y'all, I know we did a lot more talking because we got some great minds in here. And I appreciate that. Most of the time I'm reading the notes everybody's putting up, but thank everybody for doing that. The organization knows this fan base is old. They're looking at the bins, bro. I still remember, and I know I keep bringing you up, Lo, because I know you're there. At the end of that Pittsburgh game, and it caught me. Arthur Blank, as he usually is, he comes down in the fourth quarter and he goes stand on the sideline.
He need to stop doing that.
He was no, this is his team. He do what he want to do. That's that man's team. That man spent $1 billion. He do what he want to. He can push Mike Vick in a wheelchair. He can do a hot take. He can have 1, 2, 3 different wives. He can do what he want to do. Arthur Blank was sitting over there in the corner when Marcus Mariota threw that first pass of the drive. And I think it was Fitzpatrick that intercepted it. Is that my memory correct?
Minka. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Minka, yeah, Fitzpatrick. And you thought you were in Heinz Field. Am I lying, Lo?
You are not lying, my brother.
Am I lying?
It was a sea of yellow.
It was a sea. The terrible towels were rolling.
Yeah, it was crazy.
The crowd was going crazy. And again, the crowd was in the lower bowl. It wasn't even that many people in the upper bowl. The crowd was in the lower bowl. Them folks went, and I looked over there at the sideline on money, and I saw Blank with the look like this.
That's embarrassing.
I saw a look like this, and I said to myself, that was the day, that was the game that they changed quarterbacks. Because remember, Smith was standing fast with his guy. But that was the day I think Arthur Blank said, no, we ain't doing this. We ain't doing this no more.
And you know what? And I don't mean to cut anybody off. The fact that if the owner sees it and he has to say something to the head coach, that bothers me.
Yeah. That I just, and it's so to your point, and I see you. Lyric says I want to fight Mariota's earrings off, and Lisa says Falcons sell their tickets. So just what she said, the reason they sell their tickets is because of what's been going on the last few years. How many people were in that stadium against Tampa, Lo?
Man, it was empty, huh?
It was. I live on it, and I know Lo has a long way to go too. I live in Henry County, which is about 40 miles from where the stadium is. It took me about 35 minutes to get home that night. On a regular game, when the Falcons either win or are successful, it'll take me an hour to get out of downtown. But that day, me and my son were rolling through there like, dang, man. The police weren't even out. They were like, man, for what?
It's the Falcons. It's the Falcons.
But the crazy thing is, though, is that in 2015 in the Dome, that was the ticket to have.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you had a ticket to the Falcons game in 2015, 2016, it's like you had a ticket. Like, and the bench was packed. It was rocking. Wasn't nobody selling no seats to the opposing team.
No. The Michael Vick years, man. Shoot.
Yeah, win, lose, or draw. And I remember I was a little kid back then. Yeah. The Michael Vick years, when I went to my first game on Monday Night Football, man, oh my goodness.
Was that the Philadelphia game?
Yep.
Yeah. Now let's also remember them tickets for $10.
Hello.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Hey,
that's
man.
fair.
But the thing was, if it was a bad product, we wouldn't have spent the $10 on the doggone ticket.
Business to consumer relations 101.
And so, like John was saying, those days of, and I'm coming to you, Lo, those days of when at least the excitement, the expectation of a competitive team on the field. And we were competitive last year. We were more competitive last year than we've been in 21. I agree with that. But the fan base, as I've stealed a line from Field of Dreams and turn it around, if you win, they will come. You got to win in order to make this stadium full again. Go ahead and take us home, Big Lo.
I mean, you know, there's really not too much to say. I think we're just at the point right now where, you know, you have some fans that feel one way, other fans feel another way. But I think the only thing that's going to answer all of the questions is, you know, this upcoming season. So I mean, I think we can all agree that, you know, no matter if the Falcons go 2-15 this year, we'll probably all be on here in 2024 talking about what they need to do moving forward. So, I mean, you know, so far it's a moot point. I mean, I'm just ready for the season to get started.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that the way that they built this team, I feel like it was very strategic, very well thought out. Getting the tight end with that 4th overall pick and getting the quarterback with the third round, I feel like it was the smart thing to do because moving forward this year, you know, you could actually go ahead and get some pieces that you want to get. If it doesn't work out, just go ahead and get a quarterback next year.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope it doesn't come to that low. I hope and I want so many people, and I've said this several times, I want so many people to say, you were absolutely wrong about Ritter.
Me too.
Look at us, 11-6. Look at us in the playoffs. Look at us doing this. I want to be that person that people comes and say, you were wrong. You were wrong. You were wrong. So please, you know, I say this with, you know, just I want this team to win. I don't care about the perception, but I understand it. Mm-hmm. That was the reason for today to talk about it. I understand the perception of us being looked at as a 3rd place or 4th place team by the national pundits. I get it. Now it's up to the guys in the lockers, the Jesse Bates, the Calais Campbells, the Caden Ellis's, the Drake Londons, the Bijan Robinsons, and more importantly, in the most important position in North American sports, Desmond Ritter has to come through. Folks, I'm not telling you he has to be Peyton Manning. Not telling you that. Joe Montana, not telling you. But he does have to come through for us. Folks, we are at 3 hours. This might be the longest thing, maybe since the draft, that I've done. But I appreciate it. Good talk, John. Appreciate you, brother. You have won a new TV. We're going to bring it to you one day and sit it on the back, or at least a picture of TV. Bring it up there to you. Armani, roll tide, even though I really don't mean that. And y'all go.
I know you don't. It's fine.
And my boy Big Country, man, as always, brother, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for joining me on the show, man. Again, I know we seriously got to get our against together and do our thing for the people. I see since you already cheating by Can be taking those singing. Can be taking singing lessons from her or nothing like that.
Ain't no need to take no singing lessons. Why do you take singing lessons for? Why do you do that? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Huh? Everybody know.
I'll take my TV after this competition.
I want to thank Smitty for coming in. I feel like he had the role. And Berto, y'all make sure y'all check them out on 95 Sports Talk and Smitty Sports Machine. Big Low, of course, is on Big Low Country. Y'all, if you get a chance, just push the like button for me. Tell your friends. By the time we get to the season, I hope this is hyped enough to where, we really get some traction going on our station, Big Low station, and everybody like that, so we can keep it rolling. Until then, everybody have a great Sunday evening. We'll catch you tomorrow for the Monday Minutia. And y'all take care of yourselves, fellas. Appreciate y'all, man.